are among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PRO-COPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 Dollar Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of the Daily Blender. Yes, we're back. Jeffrey O'Brien's been called up to the big club. He'll be up there on temporary assignment while we toil away here in the minor leagues. My name is Randy White. That's Keon Rose over there. He's handling the tables of steel. And for the next 3 hours, we're going to try to talk some sports, maybe other things going on. I don't know. You know the Daily Blender. It's good to be back, Keon. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing much better than my bracket is.
I'm
much better.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Some surprises in our brackets going on here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Mr. Pringle checks in on the text line at 888-368-1580 and says, "Good day, gentlemen. Good day, Daily Blender. Welcome back to this beautiful day in Phoenix, Jeffrey. Congratulations on getting your quarterback. Maybe not the one you wanted, but you got a quarterback. And Randy, can I have a beer, please? And thank you very much, Boomer Sooner." There you go, Boomer Sooner. There's a little brewski for you on this Monday afternoon. Yeah, we're back. It was a long week, I have to tell you. And it didn't mean I was laying, by the pool here at the palatial White Estates. I was not. I was working. Jeffrey was working. Keon, how did you spend your time off?
There was a little bit of work involved. I went to the morning show, covered a little bit there. Control room there.
Chance to go hang out with Bruce and Dale, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So lots happening as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. I got to tell you. Big George is on the text line. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Monday. Glad to have you guys back on the air after a week off. I was lost for the entire week and was forced to listen to local sports talk radio here in San Diego. Oh, the humanity. Well, we're back, Big George. Fear not.
Yeah, sorry to do that to you.
And in case you don't know, Big George is he's our legal representation here on the Daily Blender. And he's also 7 feet tall. And he has passion for sports. And I know that he's going to have some passion for some of the things we're talking about today. But here it is today, National Crunchy Taco Day here on the Daily Blender. Yeah, which is a bit of an oddity because it's Monday. It should be Tuesday, shouldn't it, Keon?
Yeah, I mean, it should be Tuesday, but they decided to do this on a Monday. Maybe the idea was to give you back-to-back taco days.
Is that what it is?
Which I'm not really opposed to be honest.
So happy National Crunchy Taco Day. In case you're wondering how you should celebrate Crunchy Taco Day, you can throw a taco party where you can have tacos and have your friends all come over, and you do nothing but you eat tacos. You could try a new restaurant that offers tacos, a taco restaurant. You can go out and have fun. Let's see. Did you know here, Keon? These are some of the things about tacos, crunchy tacos. Perhaps you did not know that tacos. According to recent studies, tacos contain 21% protein, 24% carbs, and 12% fat versus a fiber bar's 15% of protein, 7 of carbs, and 18% of fat. Ole!
So the taco's better than the protein bar.
Tacos are healthier than most protein bars.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And we live in a world full of tortilla-based foods like quesadillas, burritos, tortilla soup, and enchiladas. But what about the deliciously crafted, crunchy taco shells? We all grew up on crunchy tacos. It wasn't until maybe high school or somewhere. Well, maybe you didn't. When I was growing up, Keon, all you had was the crunchy taco shells.
Really?
You didn't have the highfalutin flour soft tacos. That came along a long time ago. But in a world full of tortilla-based foods like quesadillas, burritos, tortilla soup, enchiladas, what about the deliciously crafted crunchy taco shell? It's time to give credit where credit is due. After all, St. Valentine got his own day. There should definitely be at least 24 hours of the legends known as crunchy tacos, and so we proclaim that here on the Daily Blender. And there's no third reason. I gave you two reasons. Those are top reasons why you should enjoy Crunchy Taco Day if you were out and about.
You usually do it in threes, but I think those two are actually good enough.
Yeah. Mr. Pringle wants to know if O'Brien got COVID again. I just told you he got called up to the big club, and he's spending some time up at the big club while Kian and I, we hone our skills here in the minor leagues. And then Big George is saying, so what you're telling me is that tacos are healthy. This is the greatest news since they said it's better to eat butter than margarine. I would agree with that, Big George. I would agree with that 110%. So happy Crunchy Taco Day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, first out of the box here, I guess we better get this out of the way quick. I know, Keon, this is going to hurt you deeply. But let's take a gander at what's currently going on in the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic bracket contest. And I have to tell you, I'm as shocked as they come. I am as shocked as can be with this. My bracket is, I'm currently ranked third.
Wow.
I don't know how to tell you this. I'm currently ranked third. I don't know how it happened. At one point, I opened up my bracket this past weekend, and there was the number 1 next to my name.
See, that has to be because you were expecting to have a bad run.
Well, hell, I always have a bad run.
Oh,
I had a number 1. I looked at my wife. I said, Kim, there's a number 1 next to my name. There's something wrong here. And sure enough, I went in and I was at one point this past weekend, or maybe it was last week. Maybe it was Thursday or Friday of last. I think it was Friday. Friday night, I looked at the bracket and I had a number 1 next to my name.
See, that is impressive. Because I actually was off to a decent start And then Kentucky happened, and Kentucky happened to everyone, but I had Kentucky as the champion.
I don't want to talk about Kentucky.
So I want to talk about Kentucky less than everybody. And also I'm 90th. So not having a great run on that front either. I'm not last. So there's that.
You're not last. I'm trying to, I'm ranked third right now, and I don't know how the hell this happened. I'm trying to get in here to look at the thing here. I tried to get in here to see the scoring. Maybe if I press this. Okay, yeah, there I am. So yeah, I'm in third place. Ralph is in sixth. Jeffco is in sixth. Then you go all the way down here to way down here. You keep going. It's 30. No, there's Moist One at 30.
You got to turn the page.
You got to keep it. You got to flip the page, and you got to keep scrolling. You got to keep going here. You keep rolling here, and I don't see anything going on here. There's Stephen McCollum, 76. Oh, there's Quitter Kaler at 90. There's Radio Ron at 90. Oh, and at the bottom of the page, Keon.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah,
what's going on?
What's going on
here? Yeah.
I'll tell you what's going on. First off, I picked Kentucky to go all the way. So that's now that we're 2 rounds deep, that's really starting to add up. It's really starting to hurt. I had a really good reason for picking Kentucky too, but just not how it went down. I thought that Illinois could handle their business. I guess did not happen.
Yeah.
Against Houston.
Yeah.
That didn't go the way that I thought that was going to go. I just had some teams that I really believed in.
Yeah.
That just didn't finish the job in some cases. In some cases, they just got the doors blown. They didn't even show up.
So right now, I'm really angry at Kentucky. They blew up my bracket early. I am somewhat angry at Baylor for losing. So Baylor, that's another one's on my list. And then, here's the thing, and I know nobody's going to believe me, and nobody will believe me, but I'm telling you, Keon will tell you that I was struggling. Where is it at? I was struggling with one of these games, and I asked him off the air last week, should I go this way or go the other way? And I overthought this, and I went the opposite direction, and I got burned. And I can't remember the game right now. I almost picked. By the way, I almost picked your Chattanooga boys to beat the Fighting Illini.
I didn't even give them a chance, to be honest. And then
one point.
They led every second of the game except the last one.
So what do you think? I mean, all kidding aside, that's just what we're doing for fun. You guys don't care about all this stuff going on with the Harman Solar 1580, the Fanatic Bracket Challenge. And if you're in there and you're doing well, congratulations to you, but nobody really cares about what we're doing. But overall, what do you think of this playoff tournament as it sits right now? I know there's surprises, but any real jaw droppers other than the Peacocks winning and what was the other one? St. Pete or something?
No, that was the Peacocks.
Pete Moss University.
The Peacocks of St. Peter's.
Peacocks, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was obviously the biggest upset of the tournament, but I remember round one had some stunners too, because you had they usually have the 12 somewhere beating the 5, but to have 2 12-5 upsets in the same day, that was a pretty crazy way to start the tournament. That was one of them. I remember the Providence game wound up being pretty fun too. With South Dakota State.
Yeah.
There were some games that are just like fantastic matchups, and then there are certainly things that surprised me. I know that I believe it was Iowa A lot of people that had doubts about them, but I actually thought Iowa had a team that could go someplace.
I did too.
They got bounced in the first round, even though, they've got Keegan Murray and he's a fantastic basketball player, but they weren't able to utilize him. And I think that was a surprise. It wasn't just that some of these teams lost; it was the way that some of them lost too.
And it's like I was saying before we broke out the bracket challenge. I was talking to Jeffrey about it, and I think we were on the air when we were talking about it. And Jeffrey was like, well, don't you think that these small teams, they don't belong there? I said, now, wait a minute. A lot of these basketball programs, and Keon, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of these basketball programs have recruited well, have gone out and got some guys to come in here. They've brought in some quality coaching, and these teams are now competitive. It's not just like it used to be, where, teams like Duke, Kentucky, I'll just use Kentucky as an example because they floundered and they lost to the Pigeons. What was it again? The Peacocks.
The Peacocks.
Yeah. The Kentucky, the so-called blue blood team, went in and lost to the Peacocks. But listen, I think that's why it's so hard to pick a bracket anymore. It's so hard to determine who's going to win in any given evening, any given night in basketball at the D1 level. Would you agree with that or disagree?
No, I completely agree that all of these teams recruit, and that not only do they recruit well, they know what they can get away with. So, for instance, you can be Duke, you can be Kentucky, one of these blue bloods, UCLA, and get a bunch of one and done guys and really field a powerful athletic squad, but none of these guys have experience. You start to look at some of these, mid-major schools, and I know it's not necessarily the best way to describe them anymore because they win so often in these tournaments. But you start to look at some of these schools where they're smaller. They recruit guys knowing I'm not going to have an athlete year one, but they're not going to go to the NBA next year or the year after that. They may never play in the NBA, but I've got a guy now that's got 4 years of experience, in some cases 5. And actually, because some guys are actually using their extra season that they got during the COVID year. Yeah. I mean, we got some of the cases 6-year seniors that are out there on this floor. So I could be Kentucky, but these dudes at St. Peter's have been playing together forever. And then they show up, they have the chemistry and the experience we don't have, and they knock us out.
Yeah. So anyway, the Peacocks probably ruined about everybody's bracket out there. And I am sure sorry about that. That's what happens. 888-368-1580 is the text line. King of Kittens says, born on Valentine's Day, my cat is named after Saint Valentine, so her name is Valentine.
Wow.
Blissful Hayes says, hello, Randy and Keon. Appreciate you guys showing up for work. Hope Jeffrey didn't get sick taking that 4th clot jab. What?
I don't even know what that means, but
Fed Fan says 3rd. Congrats to you, Randy. Well, thank you, Fed Fan. It won't last long. I'm optimistic that I will start sinking like a rock in the ocean here at any point. The Last Optimist says, I grew up next to the University of Illinois, long ago learned to never trust them in the tournament. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I mean, they had Kofi Cockburn.
I mean, that guy, if he's not one of the top 3 picks in the NBA draft, I'll be stunned.
This guy's an animal.
I mean,
you seen this dude?
He's a tower with legs and arms. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Let's see. Swazman says, yeah, guys, Kentucky, among others, killed my brackets too. I'm out. By the way, Illini sucked. Still a fun 4 days of NBA or NCAA. Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every year. I never put any high expectations about ever winning. I don't know how the hell Jeffrey and I got that high in the. And Jeffrey will tell you this. I'm not saying anything he doesn't already know. He picks things, on these weird oddities, like which school would be dumber, and then he'll select that, or which team looks more intimidating wearing a shade of blue, or teams with the manliest mascot, or teams that could drink whiskey all night and not hurt him. That's the way he picks his bracket. And look at him, he's in 6th. And yet, educated people like Keon, Radio Ron is pretty good at this bracket picking stuff. As far as I've been here, he's always a force to be reckoned with. And look at him. I mean, I expected Quitter Kaler to be way down there, but listen, Radio Ron,
Some of us got caught. That's really what happened. And
I don't care what you say. It's not easy peasy picking the NCAA tournament anymore. You just can't go, oh, yeah, well, UCLA is a shoo-in against St. Bonaventure. I submit to you, do your research and look back and maybe try to think outside the box. That's what I did this year. I listened to a lot of guys. I listened to a lot of people give input about these brackets. I listen to a lot of people that cover this every day. That's how I did my research. I'm not a basketball fan, and I listen to guy Jay Billis. I listen to him.
He's a good one.
Yeah, because he seems pretty common sense. But all right, when we come back, I've got to go to a break here. We've talked about Taco Day. The Suns stayed hot, and they beat a foe that usually jumps up and stings them a little bit. And it took overtime, but by golly, they got it done. The Coyotes dropped another game. U of A, let's talk about that game around the corner, too. They went against TCU in a nail-biter. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Arizona basketball just barely able to get a win against TCU on Sunday night, winning 85-80 in overtime. Up next, they will play again on Thursday in San Antonio, and they take on a 5 seed in Houston. Arizona has opened up as a 2-point favorite, the over-under at 145. Arizona had the second best odds to win the national championship this year. They now have the third best odds. Gonzaga with the best odds at plus 240. Kansas with the second best odds at plus 500. And then Arizona at plus 650. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Can you tell which pills contain the deadly dose of fentanyl? Neither can your child. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are killing Arizona's youth at an alarming rate. They're cheap, easy to get, and just one pill can kill. Get the facts on fentanyl at talknowaz.com. Talk with your children. Monitor their texts and social media. Visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
There's a time to be fearful and a time to be calm. A time to be aggressive and a time to be conservative, especially when it comes to investing. You've heard the phrase, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we strive to provide you with the tools and experience it takes to be in the right place at the right time to grow and protect your hard-earned money. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's check your goals together. You'll get a free portfolio review and risk analysis, and we'll focus on your investment strategies. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, or visit us online at compact.com. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
The dictionary describes madness as
frenzy, rage, intense excitement. Yeah, that sounds about right.
We define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! And Jenkins to Drew for the win.
The madness is coming.
Oh! Drew did it. Comes down, dribble, shoot.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The home for March Madness.
Monday, March 21st, here on this edition of the Daily Blender. I'm Randy White. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien called up to the big club. He got called up during spring training. Happens all the time. They always take Jeffrey for some reason. Keon and I are toiling down here in minor league camp. But listen, we're going to do our best to drive this show for 3 hours talking about the sports and life and things that involve you. Let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. The good cat says, what's happening, fellas? Not much, good cat. Meow, meow. What's up with you? Thunder Snow. If Jeffrey were here, he would say Colts GM Chris Ballard is a genius. He basically traded Carson Wentz for a third-round pick and Matt freaking Ryan. The rest of the AFC can suck it. Thunder Snow, we're going to talk about that very soon. That was breaking news earlier this morning. And we've got a lot of NFL stuff to cover today. It's been a very active. Well, first of all, we were off for a whole week. We preempted by the NCAA. You cannot go up against the NCAA, even if you're the Daily Blender. I'm sorry.
That's true.
And so it's not our fault that we had a week off. I don't care what the morning show says. You cannot battle the NCAA. They always win. March Madness always wins. Navy Brad says, hello, guys. I bet Jeffrey's super happy. The Matt Ryan is his new quarterback. I don't know about that. I have not talked to Jeffrey. He's been called up to the big club, and he's doing some time there at the big club camp. And we'll have to talk to him when he comes back about that Matt Ryan pickup. I don't think he's as optimistic as you might think he is. Blissful Hay says, hey, Keon, why did that ref in Illinois game call a technical on the Illini fast break dunk? Complete a bullship, as in Titanic ship.
Wow.
Call.
Yeah. It's a bad call. But we've seen that in this tournament. That is one of the things I've noticed. And I don't want to, this is going to sound sour grapes because my bracket is shattered into a billion little pieces, but the officiating in this tournament has been terrible.
Yeah.
Like as worse or as bad, I guess is the right word, as I can remember it being. And so, yeah, I hope that they straighten that out as we get into these more important rounds, your Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Because the players deserve better. I think the fans deserve better than that. And yeah, Illinois got hosed on that call. They did.
Kista Cook checks in at 888-368-1580 and says, in my bracket, I only have one team. How about them Wildcats?
I mean, there are lots of Wildcats. One set of Wildcats lost very early to a Peacock.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Peacocks beat up a Wildcat. I still don't understand what the hell happened there.
I just can't even wrap my mind around it.
Swazman wants us to know it's probably going to be Gonzaga versus someone AZ maybe. I should have known. The big dogs always bark the loudest.
There was some room for doubt there, though, when Gonzaga was stumbling early. They were in the first round with Georgia State, I believe. They did ultimately win that game by like 20 plus, but they went into halftime pretty close. I was deeply concerned.
Mars Bars 805 checks in on the text line. It says, happy Marley Monday, guys. I'll take an 805, please. And a pina colada for you, Randy. Go Raiders. And thank you for the defensive player space, Randy /Cardinals. Let's go, Duke. I almost don't want to pour you that beer, but I understand. And much respect to you. As far as the pina colada.
If you like pina colada,
I mean, there you go.
get caught in the rain.
I personally don't like pina coladas, but there it is. Just for you, Mars Bars 805. Just a tip. Good afternoon, gentlemen. One of my favorite sayings, luck is the residue of design. It's perfect for the NCAA brackets. Do all the research you want. If you don't get a break here and there, you'll suffer miserably. Amen. Amen, just a tip.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Truest statement of the day.
I mean, look, Keon is brilliant when it comes to college basketball, college football, NFL. He's our sports genius. And I'm as dumb as an anchor. And look, I'm in 3rd, and he's in 90th. There you go. Blissful Hayes says, Jeffrey probably upset the Colts are going 6-11 next season.
Not in that division.
I don't.
I promise you they will win at least 8 games.
Yeah.
AFC South is awful.
I'm sure Matt Ryan is certainly breathing easier today.
He is. He just went from one of the 5 worst offensive lines in football to maybe one of the 5 best.
Yeah. Bruce's buddy says, I remember Jeffrey saying he would take Matt Ryan any day last week or the week before. Yeah, we weren't on last week, so it had to be the week before. Also, the Bengals are quietly having the best offseason so far. You think? What do you think about that, Keon? Are the Bengals having the best offseason? I don't think so.
Well, I think that you could make an argument for it. I mean, it's hard with all these quarterbacks flying around to say they had a better offseason than the Browns or better offseason than, like a team like Vegas, the Raiders made that move for Devontae Adams. But if you look at what the Bengals have done, they were able to bring back their corners from a year ago. Those guys were great, except for Eli Apple in the Super Bowl, but he was great every other game that season. So bring them back. And of course, we talk about it all the time. Joe Burrow, who's going to protect him? They go out and get Lyle Collins, the former Cowboy. Yeah. Well, if that guy can stay healthy, they've already made Joe Burrow's life immediately better because that guy at right tackle is about as good as it gets.
Big George says, I was really hoping that TCU would beat U of A yesterday because all U of A were looking ahead to Houston. We came so close to the upset. When you say we, Big George, you mean ASU? Do you guys think Houston has a good shot at beating U of A on Thursday? What are your thoughts, Ken? I think at this level of the tournament, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You go ahead.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about March Madness is that is true essentially at every point in the whole thing. Where any night. I mean, again, not to harp on Kentucky, but like that's the way that it goes. And as you go further into this, these teams are better coached. Their players have the better athletes, and so Houston is a school that they've been in this tournament before, and they've been at the near the final before. So they've got the experience, they've got the coaching. Yeah, they have a shot. It's just a matter of, can you turn this game into something where experience wins it? Because if it's a game where athleticism and youth wins it, Arizona's beating you to death.
Let's see. Senior Wake and Bake checks in and says, didn't do a bracket, just called the Final Four. AZ, Zags, Illinois, Novak still got 3 alive. Yeah, well, so do I. I had Kentucky going to the Final Four. I should have probably picked UCLA. To be honest, I should have probably picked UCLA to go to the Final Four. I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that still have 3 alive.
I mean, I have 2, and I'm 90th, and I have 2. So it's
yeah.
Some of these, if you went kind of chalkish, you were going to have a decent Final Four, basically.
Mr. Pringle says, Keon, I greatly respect your sports knowledge, but I'd be very surprised if Kofi Cockburn gets drafted at all, let alone in the first round. I've watched nearly every Illini game for the last 2 years. Kofi couldn't guard a fire hydrant. He's also very limited on the offensive side of the basketball.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know about the couldn't guard a fire hydrant thing. When he's on the floor, it's very hard for people to drive to the basket. He is, after all, 7 feet tall, which you can't teach. So that's one reason I think an NBA team would look at Kofi Cockburn as a potential draft target. I also think.
Oh, is it Cockburn? Sorry.
Yeah. If I'm going to
keep calling him Cockburn,
it's more fun to say that. But when I'm officially breaking down his game, I'm not going to say Cockburn. It feels.
If you look on the back of his jersey,
that is what it says. That is true. And good point there, Randy.
Cockburn.
But he's also just an athlete, just a straight up athlete. So I know he's not.
Cockburn be more like a Cohburn, something
like that. That would be.
But it's
my
not.
thought.
It's Cock, isn't it? Burn.
And I have no idea how that came to be, but it just that's what it actually says. So, But you have this athletic guy that you can
it
kind
could be CO, just CO.
That
burn.
Or hyphen or no hyphen. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
It would make more sense.
The hyphen would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. But just to get to the Kofi as a draft pick, Serge Ibaka came into this league and didn't have a game necessarily that was polished on one side of the floor, but you teach guys that. So I don't know. I just think an NBA team looks at the measurables and the athleticism and takes a chance.
Fish Tank says Colts win the division easily. Really? What about the Titans?
I mean, the Titans are constantly winning that division. Somehow, even when Derrick Henry's not there, they win the division.
I mean, I respect that, Fish Tank. I respect that.
But the Texans are truly awful. You probably split with the Titans, right? And then you got the Jags.
But still, I mean, who has a better season, Titans or the Colts? You got a guy coming in, Matt Ryan. Yeah, the guy's had his brains beat in for the last several years in Atlanta. That dumpster fire of the Falcons. You've got mental problems because you had the game won at halftime, and New England came back and raped and pillaged you in the second half, and you've been just terrible ever since.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been truly bad. I think last season was probably his worst, but I think that's just because the arm's going. And after that Super Bowl run, they weren't able to recreate the magic. Devontae Freeman wasn't the same back in years later. Julio Jones, that's when he started the beginning of his injury stuff. So, and that offensive line just fell apart. They
don't
weren't
you think
able to
Julio Jones injuries were maybe a bit phantom injuries?
I don't think so.
I got this feeling
because he came into the league with a broken foot. And
yeah,
I think that kind of stuff doesn't really go away that easily to me.
This feeling though, I think guys that are on poor teams have, and this is my theory, and I'm not saying that Julio Jones is a bad person. All I'm saying is I think some of these guys with like uber great talent, they get on these teams and the teams turn south for whatever reason, and they have these phantom injuries. You know, I've seen it in baseball teams. You get a guy out there that's throwing 98 miles an hour with nasty curveball. You're going to go out there and look like an idiot, and suddenly, I pulled my calf in warmups. I'm going to have to sit tonight out.
I mean, I'm sure it happens. I just don't know if that's Julio or not. So I don't want to say, but he was dealing with those injuries, and he was dealing with it last year when even after he got moved to the Titans were playing really well. He would have helped, but the injuries were still nagging him. Right. So that's the thing there. But the Falcons just sort of fell apart and found themselves in a rebuild. I don't know that necessarily means that Matt Ryan has fallen off to the point where you can't put him in a good situation, which the Colts certainly are, and have him excel there.
All right. Mars Bars 805 says, what do you think about the Raiders offseason additions? I'll tell you what I think. Amazing. Chandler Jones, Devontae Adams. Those two guys right there just instantly move you up 2 notches, in my opinion.
And you're able to keep Max Crosby, who is a free agent, who everybody is going to go after the season he had. To bring him back and then add Chandler Jones to it. That's the part that I like.
Geez. You know what? Put a running back in there. You guys finish it off. Put the bow on this package by going and getting a quality running back that can help you out and open up that passing game. That's all I got to say about that. Bruce's buddy says, and the money on all the Bengals contracts have been steals, and Burrow has recruited them, and he will make Hayden Hurst a great tight end. Well, yeah.
Hayden Hurst is already a really, really good tight end.
Yeah. I mean, but Burrow's a quarterback, not a tight end. What is he saying?
He was saying he's going to make Hayden Hurst a great tight end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Last Optimist says, if his first name was Rooster, he would be unstoppable. Yeah, Rooster Cockburn.
Roosters are mean. So I you know what I believe.
Well, that's from like True Grit. That's like a True Grit throwback right there.
I haven't seen True Grit in a very long time.
That's the greatest man movie of all time. You need to watch the John Wayne version. It's better than the newer version, which is more like the book and has all the proper English in it, which doesn't make sense because it's set in the Old West. So it seems like the John Wayne version would be more realistic, but hey.
But who knows?
All right. Even with all the Raiders, great Raiders signings, they're still fighting for third in their division. That, according to the last Optimist. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, the Raiders showed a vast improvement. Now, look, the Chargers are great. Yes, Russ Wilson is with the Broncos. And yes, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. But I don't know, man. I think this is going – I think the AFC West – and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the AFC West has turned into the most intriguing football conference or division in all of football.
It's going to be weird because they should just put all those games on primetime. Every week should just be an AFC West matchup.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the season for as many of games as they've got of that, because like you're right. It's not just intriguing. It's the deadliest. It's got the most lethal players at skill positions. I mean, you can go quarterbacks. That's a great set of 4 quarterbacks as far as one division's concerned.
Yeah.
Wide receivers. I mean, the Broncos have Jerry Jeudy out there, but obviously you bring in Devontae Adams with the Raiders, and the Chiefs go out and get Juju Smith-Schuster. Man, like it's going to be crazy.
And got him on a steal, by the way. Got him on a steal.
Stunning when you look at like what Christian Kirk made and what Juju made. I'm trying to understand.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, we got more stuff to talk about, including that U of A game. Thank you for checking in on the text line at 888-368-1580. But we got to talk a little basketball, and then we get to Matt Ryan moving to the Colts. What are your thoughts? I haven't heard from Jeffrey. It's been very quiet since he got moved up to the big team. We'll talk about that around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. That's 800-438-8173.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Hey, you can protect yourself against upsets this March with Bracket Parlay Insurance on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, all customers can get up to $25 back each day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. For example, this past weekend, I was betting on a couple of different teams, and I saw that one of my teams was they were failing. And so I got this insurance, and I enacted that insurance. I didn't lose anything. And so also, there's other ways to beat the system too. With the cash out, the ball's in your court. You can close out your bet whenever you want before the game is over. So if you're watching a game, perhaps you were watching the U of A TCU game, and you had money on TCU, and you thought they're gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. Even with there's 5 seconds left, you can cash out and save some money on that mistake. So there's another option for you at FanDuel Sportsbook, giving you all the options you need to make money. They're in this to make you money. And you just sign up. You can use promo code Randy1580 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. That's Randy1580. And start betting today. It's pretty easy. I mean, it took me 90 seconds or less to sign up. I did it during one of the shows. I signed up while I was on the air during a commercial break, which is about 90 seconds here on the radio station. And I was ready to go, man. It's easy. It's simple. It's safe. It's secure. And it's available for you right now. The FanDuel Sportsbook app. That's promo code Randy1580. Remember, 21 and older, present in Arizona. If exactly 1 leg loses, refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit. That expires in 7 days. NCAA tournament SBK wager required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Keon, let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Wow, there's a ton of them here. Just the Tip says, I guarantee that every U Chalupa fan is puckered up really friggin' tight. No way do they have confidence. But by the way, Lute Olson called. He wants his choke back after you use it this year. Wow.
Came out swinging.
Wow. Just the Tip. Moving right along. Bruno Baller says, Randy, you remember that popular Canadian song writer or singer Bruce Cockburn, pronounced Colburn? One of his popular songs, If He Had a Rocket Launcher. Not sure if you remember. I don't. Bruce Colburn? Boy, it seems like a full moon or Friday. Big George says, the better question is, what the heck are the Arizona Cardinals doing in free agency? Jack squat so far. They are currently the only team in the NFL to have not signed a free agent. Well, that's true, Big George. And I got to tell you, maybe I can ask you, Keon, because you're a sports expert. Why didn't they go make a play for Juju Smith-Schuster?
I can't tell you that. I mean, he is a fantastic wide receiver, and he's proven it in Pittsburgh, not just with the way he played last year with the fumes of Big Ben, but with other quarterbacks as well. They had to run Mason Rudolph out there, and he's always been, able to separate, able to make big plays. And he's a guy that, he doesn't get the chance to be that number one receiver, at least not in Pittsburgh. So, you come out and see maybe if you can get that opportunity to offer that to somebody, to offer that number two spot, to not be able to offer that to a guy like Juju. I don't understand what they're thinking. I wish I did.
Well, and it sounds like them signing with the Chiefs, it's not as expensive as it seems. Why can't we get that Why can't we figure that out? There are a lot of guys that have multiple multi-million-dollar contracts on the books. Why can't Arizona owners figure that out? What are we missing here in Arizona? Is it in the water? Is it in the air? Is it in the sunsets? Is it in the green eyes of a young child that's walking along with butterfly? What the hell is it, Keon?
I wish I could tell you, but I do think that maybe that's something that the front office should address, and in hiring somebody and bringing somebody in, because they're specialists in the front office. When we think of the front office, we tend to think a lot more on the scouting side of things. But there's somebody in there that figures out how these contracts work and how to fit them in and how to backload them in some years so that you're not over the cap. And so that maybe you've got void years on a contract, which is just a wild concept in and of itself. But once you're able to understand like all the nuances of it, then that's where you shuffle the money to. And it just seems like we don't have that here. We don't have that one person who just looks at the money and goes, okay, this is how we make this work if we ever have to swing for somebody who can go get us a Super Bowl.
888-368-1580 real quick. Suns in action last night against the Sacramento Kings. It took overtime, one overtime. Suns win 127-124. Shamet, I mean, come on. Does he just continue to show his value to this Phoenix Suns team? The Kings had them on the ropes, and Landry Shamet just simply locked that victory with that late 3-pointer from the corner there. Phoenix Suns continuing. They have got to be the favorite to win the championship this year, don't they?
That's what they look like to me. I mean, they find ways to win, and they're so deep. That's the other thing too, is that when you've got Landry Shamet, like you talked about earlier, Kevin, give you 21 points off of the bench and really be a glue guy in addition to his big time shooting and the points he's putting up, to be that person that helps the offense flow very smoothly. That has to be one of the most underrated offseason pickups was the Suns getting Landry Shamet. It's a perfect fit for what this team likes to do. And it really helps to give you that extra boost when you don't have a guy like Chris Paul running the show right now.
Booker with 31 last night. Mikal Bridges, 27. DeAndre Ayton had 12. But most impressive was he had 10 rebounds. So another double-double for DeAndre Ayton. Is he worthy of that Supermax contract yet? I know Keon thinks so. What do you think? 888-368-1580. DeAndre Ayton continuing to play really good basketball. And this guy, I think this guy is an integral part of this the Suns offense and his and the defense. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know that you get to the finals last year without him. I don't think you get to the finals this year without him. And so if you're moving on from DeAndre Ayton, that's the kind of thing that like I just would consider if I were the front office of the Suns, how much I want to move on from DeAndre Ayton, because I really think there is maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 centers that play this game at a high level, and he's one of them.
Coyotes last night lose one. It was a close one until the very end. You wouldn't think it was close, but San Jose scored 3 goals in the third, and it was a 4-2 final score. The Coyotes were up most of the game, playing very aggressive hockey. Phil Kessel got himself a goal and an assist. And the Coyotes making a lot of moves today. It might seem like they're breaking the team down, but I ask you to just remain patient, Coyote fans, because I think this the general manager knows what he's doing, and he's doing the best that he can to build a new team. Look, I told you going into this, it's going to be a long season, but the Coyotes are not the worst team in the league. I believe the Kraken are the worst team in the league. They have a game. The Arizona Coyotes are 20-38-4. And they have 44 points. The Seattle Kraken are 19-38-6. They also have 44 points. But if you look at the win-loss record, the Kraken clearly, which doesn't hurt me at all because I'm trying to sue the damn Kraken for taking my fantasy football name.
Mm-hmm.
They had no right to that. It was mine. But the Kraken are the worst team in the NHL right now. So that's what's going on with the Coyotes. a lot of moves today, a lot of moves. So if you're a hockey fan, you're looking at the Coyotes, you're asking what the hell are they doing? I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. They're trying to build a better team for next season. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, this weekend, it was a nail biter. The U of A hangs on against TCU. Keon, your first thoughts on that game? Did you watch the game? Were you paying attention? 85-80 was the final, but that does not tell the whole story.
No, it doesn't. I was paying attention to the game a little bit. TCU's a tough school. I mean, that's the place where I think I'll start is them being an 8th seed. The Big 12 was just brutal this year. And so I think they picked up 1 or 2 more losses that maybe they wouldn't have gotten if they'd played in the ACC or some easier conference. They're absolutely physical and brutal. And I just think that was where they were able to find that way to make the game competitive, extend the game. But when it comes down to athleticism, clearly U of A is recruited very well. And you saw it at the end, like the longer that the game goes, because they are so athletic, they're able to get past team and big. Yeah. I mean, that Christian Coloco is a monster. I mean, there's no way to stop him or slow him down once he truly gets going. And some of these schools are not equipped to handle a guy down low that's going to be that physical and that aggressive and that active on the boards.
Look, Benedict Mathurin, he was clutch. He was clutch for the Cats. If we don't have Benedict, the Cats don't win. TCU wins because it was split down the middle as far as stats go. The Arizona Wildcats had 45.5% field goal percentage against TCU's 35.1%. Turnovers, Arizona turned the ball over 16 times to TCU's 14. Rebounds, TCU out-rebounded the Arizona Wildcats, and they should be ashamed at that. And 3 points, TCU buried them. 23% to U of A's 18%. Listen, U of A is not going to win a championship this way. They've got to turn some things around, and I hope they had a wake-up call, and I hope they go against Houston next, and they turn the gas up a little bit, because otherwise Houston's going to beat them and move on. They cannot afford to have another game like this, another scare. 85-80 is the final score. The U of A Wildcats winning. As we head to the text line at 888-368-1580, Fish Tank says Matt Ryan is still a better quarterback than Tannehill. Taylor can be just as good as Henry, who has a ton of miles on him. Titans will have plenty to play the first-place teams of other divisions. Colts will get second-place teams. I just think Matt Ryan gets them over the top. What do you think, Keon?
I agree, to be honest with you. That Matt Ryan is still a good quarterback. I mean, he's not the MVP Matt Ryan. However, the last time we saw MVP Matt Ryan, he had an offensive line, he had a running game, he had lead wide receivers, he had a defense. Okay, well, the Colts can give you most of that. They're going to have to solve their wide receiver problem, obviously, but they can give you most of that and put Matt Ryan in a position where he's just managing the game, which he is fantastic at doing. And that's what they wanted Carson to do last year. Yeah. And Carson's just not a game manager. He's a gunslinger at heart. And sometimes that showed up at all the wrong times. And that was the reason why they weren't able to go to the playoffs. So, there's no reason they can't go to the playoffs again. It's, can they become a contender with Matt Ryan? Because they believe they have the roster to win right now.
Well, and plus Matt Ryan knows how to do the laundry. This is a tied cold call.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's a plus as well. Mr. Pringle asked, how many spring training games have the Diamondbacks won so far? That would be a goose egg. 0. Unless they won today, which I'm not even following them. And we'll talk about that in the third hour, so stick around. I have some thoughts on that. Blissful Hayes says, if Matt Ryan's arm is going, why the hell would the Colts sign him? He had a losing record last year. I'd rather take my chance with Josh Rosen. Blissful Hayes, it's not even 420 yet. What are you saying? The Last Optimist says, even with all the great Raiders signings, they're still fighting for third in their division. All right.
It's a tough division, so I get it.
Yeah, it's going to be a shootout from the very beginning. All right. 1 hour down, 2 more to go. We're here till 6 o'clock tonight. I'm Randy. That's Keon. Jeffrey called up to the big club. He'll be playing some games with the major leaguers. But we will be back for the 4 o'clock hour next on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Renaissance Festival is back!
Huzzah! Weekends now through April 3rd.
Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Just night. Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekend now through April 3rd. Discount tickets available at Dashes and Food City or online at arizona.breakfastinfo.com.
Presented by Delta Airlines.
Dashes, Food City,
Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Visiting the Renaissance Festival? Stop by Gold Canyon Golf Resort and enjoy a game of golf. Gold Canyon Golf Resort on Kings Ranch Road, just west of the Renaissance Festival. Huzzah!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, both made with fresh cracked eggs, or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
And welcome to hour number 2 on this Monday, March 21st. Here on the Daily Blender, live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. That's Keon Rose on the giant wheels of steel behind the glass. Jeffrey O'Brien called up to the big club this week. He'll be spending some time there. We should see him back shortly. And you are on the text line at 888-368-1580. Lots of activity. We've been off for a week, and it's good to be back. Lots of activity, but some of it happening today that was very intriguing. Jeffrey's Indianapolis Colts get a new quarterback. His name is Matt Ryan. Perhaps you heard of him. He's been, for the last 10 years, he's been the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. He was up in a Super Bowl 28-3. They ended up losing. And there's been a lot of context and a lot of conjecture on the text line at 888-368-1580. But let's go ahead and dive into it now. Did the Colts win this? Are the Colts, Keon, better having added Matt Ryan? Now, before you answer, he was picked number 1, pick number 3. He was picked round 1, number 3 by Atlanta in 2008. All right, we're in 2022. He has spent all of his life, his NFL life, in an Atlanta uniform. Now, we all know last week, Atlanta pulled out all the stops to get their native son, Deshaun Watson, to come over there and play for the Falcons, which he chose not to do. What happened was you've got a quarterback now that has spent his entire career in Atlanta who is now going to Indianapolis. This is a pretty good quarterback. I would not say I would say at one point he was elite. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's an MVP, a former MVP. But I mean, come on.
I do think that they're better. And honestly, I don't know that there's a clear winner in this trade because Atlanta's rebuilding and they know that they can't rebuild with that contract on the books. You just can't. It's so prohibitively massive. There's no way for them to add talent to this roster and build it out and then try to add a quarterback later when you've got a quarterback who's not the future anymore, who's sucking up all the cap space. So they had to move on from Matt Ryan, and they do.
13 years, though. 13 years.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
I get it. But his play had declined to the point where Matt Ryan is not where he can elevate a team any longer. He's not able to be on a team that's missing a piece here, missing a piece there, and we're making it better. At this stage in his career, you have to set the table for him. It's got to be completely perfect or it's not really going to work. And the Colts feel like they have that perfect situation. And he's not going to be asked to do a whole lot. And he's always been a guy that's taken care of the football and been incredibly mature about how he's reading defenses and things. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way the way Carson Wentz did, because what the Colts couldn't do was go out and get another quarterback who was going to essentially be Carson Wentz again.
All right. So his rookie season, he played all 16 games. 2009, he played 14. He didn't miss a game again the rest of his career. He played 17 last year, 16 and 20, 15 and 2019, 16 and 18, 16 and 17, 16 and, you know what I mean? He's very reliable. But I mean, his career stats are really, his completion percentage is 65.5 yards or percent. 65.5%. He's thrown for 59,000 yards in his career.
Mm-hmm.
His average is 7.5 yards a completion. I don't know, man. I think the Colts swung and missed here.
I don't think that the risk is that massive. So I think that helps them a lot. But
13 years though.
They need a human body that can play quarterback at a good level consistently, and that's hard to find. And so with Matt Ryan, you get some version of that, a stable guy who is not going to lose you football games. He's not going to lose his mind and throw back across the field against his body to a middle linebacker who's waiting for it. That's Carson's deal. And so he's not going to give you, and Carson can give you a 60-yard bomb downfield easy, but it's the smart plays when the game is close and you need to win. Matt Ryan, I think, can absolutely give you that, even if he is not the Matt Ryan of old.
I don't know.
I'm just saying the last time I saw Matt Ryan look like an MVP, he was playing on a team that had everything. He was playing on a team with a great defense, with an offensive line that could actually keep him upright, with a running game that made sense, where your wide receiver, Cordell Patterson, is actually not the best running back out there on the field. In an offense that was actually geared towards, let's get the ball out of your hands quickly. I mean, the Colts could be a spot where Matt Ryan fits perfectly.
36 years old, man.
I get it. But it's sort of like who's left on the dance floor. We're getting close to closing time. And
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but he's 36, man. Everybody was crying about Carson Wentz. He's a hell of a lot younger than Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, Carson's what, 29? You have plenty of years left ahead of Carson if he works out. But the Colts aren't trying to work out 10 years down the road. The Colts need a dance partner right now because they have a roster that they believe can win a Super Bowl. So you've got to do it right now.
Did they overpay for him?
I mean, yeah. Once you're eating that contract, you absolutely are. But it depends. I mean, if he goes out there and he's a perfect fit for the team, then he can get you, a playoff run, a look at a Super Bowl. Then you're not overpaying. I happen to think they're overpaying because I don't know that Matt Ryan necessarily gets you to Super Bowl by himself. I think they've got to go out in the draft and get one of these wide receivers, one of these special wide receivers that's out there, and try and give Matt Ryan that weapon. Because right now, that's where their big weakness is. Now that they filled the quarterback spot, what's the big weapon that my guy's throwing to?
So I guess from an overall standpoint, he's owed $23.75 million in cash. This coming season, the Falcons will be forced to eat an NFL record $40.5 million in dead cap money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're just going to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off this year and not have to worry about it in the future.
All right, Matt Ryan is heading to Indianapolis. I don't know how my friend Jeffrey feels about it. I do not know how my friend feels about this.
I saw what he said on Twitter, and his reaction seems very blah. He doesn't hate it, but he doesn't love it either. It's very neutral. This is the best guy that we could have gotten, and we got him.
You think? The New Orleans Saints are bringing back quarterback Jameis Winston after missing out on their pursuit of Deshaun Watson. Winston and the Saints agreed to a 2-year deal with a base value of $28 million, including $21 million guaranteed, according to Adam Schefter and his sources. Saints were one of the 4 teams trying to get Deshaun Watson, who was ultimately traded to the Cleveland Browns. Winston, 28, went 5-2 in his first year as a starter with the Saints last season before he tore his ACL. I think that the Colts missed an opportunity here. I think the Colts missed an opportunity on a younger quarterback, a guy that's got his sight fixed, has some confidence after sitting behind Drew for a season, had some confidence after leading his team to a 5-2 record, and cost less, $28 million over 2 seasons. And he's younger.
He's younger, but I think that Jameis, the 7 games was not enough to erase some of those question marks you had about Jameis. Where
I mean, I get that.
Is it roller coaster Jameis? Because they just got off of the great roller coaster ride that was Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson and Jameis have a lot of the same DNA when it comes to how they play quarterback and how they approach. I got a guy downfield. I'm just going to rip it because you know what? Both of those guys do have big arms, and when you have a big arm, you feel like you can make every throw. But as long as that's in your DNA, I don't know that the Colts want to get on with another quarterback that plays the game like that. I think they want more fundamentally sound, let's have the same kind of average game. Because if the quarterback's average and Jonathan Taylor's Jonathan Taylor, we're going to be okay.
Bruce's buddy says on the text line at 888-368-1580, AFC North is right behind the West, but the AFC is loaded pretty much everywhere.
I'm just saying, I'm glad to be in the NFC.
The Jets said it. I knew it. Every time the Colts make a bonehead move, Jeffrey calls in sick to work. I doubt he works for the rest of the year. Well, I happen to know he'll be here.
This hardly qualifies as bonehead.
Yeah, I don't think this is a boneheaded move.
I mean, you could say it's very average, very, very pedestrian, but I wouldn't say it's a bonehead. I mean, because they could have traded for Baker. That might have been
Baker
boneheaded move.
I would have rather gone for Jameis than Baker. Thunder Snow says the Cardinals are trying to figure out how to pay Kyler Murray so they're not spending on free agency. But that's the point, Thunder Snow. That's the point. How do the Chiefs pay their quarterback, $500 million, retain some of this talent on this team, and then bring in Juju Smith-Schuster? When do we get somebody in the front office of the Arizona Cardinals that can work those kind of moves? I referenced the Los Angeles Rams, who gave up draft picks, brought in Matt Stafford, OBJ, still had the defense that they had, won a damn Super Bowl. When does this stop in Arizona?
I don't know, because and again, I have serious questions about Steve Keim and is the point of him.
Everybody's got questions about Steve Keim.
We mentioned it earlier. There's the two general manager paths. You got the good money guy, you got the good scouting guy. Like Atlanta recently fired Thomas Dimitroff, who I really like as a good scouting guy. He's not a great money guy. And that's the reason why the Matt Ryan contract is so ridiculous and why they have to get rid of it and all that stuff now, because he screwed up the money side of the whole operation. Then you've got the person who's really good with the money, but maybe not so good with the scouting aspect of it. Keim is kind of in that place where he's not really doing either thing. He's not really doing the money well to shift it around and make sure some of these contracts just work. So, hey, maybe we can pay Kyler and go get people. Why do we have to choose? Nobody else seems to be choosing in the National Football League. It's not doing the scouting thing well either, because if you're bad with the money, but you're good at scouting, you're always going to have young talent everywhere. So we're stuck in no man's land in neither place. And I think that someone has to be brought in to help the team pick a struggle, man, pick a direction to go in.
Well, I mean, I just don't understand how these teams get it done. And then they're.
Oh, Randy, I think we lost you there. Yeah, no, Randy's still talking. We still have him, and he does not know that we can't hear him right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get his attention, and let him know to reset whatever is going on. But basically, we've got a lot of teams in this league that know how to do one thing or the other thing pretty decently well. But we're looking at a Cardinals team where we're seeing talent walk out the door. We're seeing no talent be brought in really in free agency. And we're looking for them to find their footing in all of this and bring in maybe somebody in the draft. But we haven't seen the draft happen very well in the Keim era with the Cardinals. So I don't know what the solution is ultimately going to wind up being, but it's one of those things that would give you an advantage, at least when you're talking about Kyler Murray. It makes it a whole lot easier to say that you want Kyler Murray to come back and to come back at a certain price and to be able to have a negotiating point as to whether or not you can move forward with talent around him on the roster, because you know that once you pay him, that's when the struggle really starts. And by the way, you're hearing me drone on because I don't have access to the text line at this exact moment because I'm in the control room. That's just not under the list of duties that I have, but the number is 888-368-1580 to get there, so that when Randy comes back, we can get to your thoughts and opinions. We're trying to work through the technical difficulties here. I want to shift gears here for a little bit, because I don't want to burn up all the football stuff. I don't want to burn up all the football conversation without Randy. But I was looking at a story earlier, and it was about Freddie Freeman, who has done the thing that a lot of people do when it's time to get paid, which is that they go to Los Angeles and become a Dodger. Makes me sick to my stomach, obviously. I'm not even a Braves fan. I'm a Nationals fan. That's the divisional rival right there. And we do have Randy back. Randy, we have you. You good?
Hi, team. How we doing?
Good. I was actually talking about Freddie Freeman a moment ago there. I didn't want to get through all the football stuff without you, so I jumped to a baseball thing. But I saw something where Chipper Jones was not actually pleased with the way that Freddie Freeman left the Braves, and he had thoughts and opinions on that.
Well, Chipper defending the Braves, and Matt and Freddie Freeman's got his story. So we'll have to discuss that in just a minute here. Let's see. Against the spread says Matt Ryan, definitely an upgrade for the Colts, which isn't saying much. Beware, Colts fans, never trust a washed up old man with two first names. All right. Big George says, I think Matt Ryan's the best Colts could do or could have hoped for a quarterback once Deshaun Watson went to Cleveland. His light years better than Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G. So I think the Colts made the right move. So if you have Baker Mayfield, Keon, or you have Jimmy G, or you have Matt Ryan, which one of the three are you taking?
Well, I'm going to use the metric that the Colts are using, which is which one of those guys on our team can help us win right now. I think you have to go Matt Ryan. Maybe you can go Jimmy Garoppolo, but again, Jimmy Garoppolo has a little bit of that knucklehead. I'm going to throw the ball away here in a moment where, no, we needed you to protect that, Jimmy. Or, he injures himself being a little reckless, trying to make a play when it's not necessary. The Colts are trying to go for smooth right here. And I just think Baker Mayfield is also the roller coaster ride. You just had a year of Carson Wentz with that, where it's inconsistent play. One game he looks great, one game he doesn't look great, and you need him to go out and win a game for you. Can he do that? No, because it's the Jags and he just falls apart. So I just don't know what other options they had. But if those are the three options, I think that Matt Ryan is the best option for what this team wants to do, which is go to an AFC title game and compete for a Super Bowl.
Let's see. The Hefty Lefty says they're also still paying dead cap money from Julio this year. I believe combined it's over $70 million. You mean the Falcons are?
Yep. Yeah, they are. When they traded Julio, all that dead cap money. And again, that didn't have to be the case, but Thomas Dimitroff was in there as the general manager, and that dude could scout talent from a mile away. Yeah. He was the guy that decided they were going to make the move to draft Julio Jones in the first place. That's one of the best decisions he made as the general manager of that team. But the money stuff always got away from him, and we're seeing these contracts. They're so severely backloaded that they're killing the Falcons right now.
602 Pats fan. Fats fan. Yeah. 602 Pats fan says, yes, Matt Ryan won't lose you a game unless it's the Super Bowl 28-3. Yeah.
But did he lose that by himself? I mean, I'm looking at Kyle Shanahan, the play caller. Dude, just run the football. There's plenty of blame to go around. I wouldn't throw that all on the shoulders of Matt Ryan.
Just a tip says, what this dude Bill Armstrong is doing for the Coyotes is brilliant. Every move he makes gets the Coyotes better. The Yotes will have 7+ picks in the first round of the draft, probably 5+ in the second round. He's trimmed cap garbage and signed excellent young talent on a team-friendly contract. He also says Matt Ryan has been sacked almost 100 times more than he's thrown touchdowns. Is that his fault or the team's fault? I think he'd have better stats if he had better protection. I think he does really well with the Colts. And then he says 2 down, 1 to go.
I think it's 25% Matt Ryan's fault, 75% Falcons' fault, because they struggle to get him any kind of offensive protection ever. It never materialized. They took tackles and guards and in high draft picks, but they always missed on those picks and didn't make the moves in free agency to protect Matt Ryan, and they got him killed.
Senior Wake and Bake, before we go to break here, says Ryan's career resembles his nickname, On Ice. And with that, thank you, Senior Wake and Bake. When we come back, we will talk some more NFL. Got lots to talk about, and we've got some baseball news too. And also, why do the Lakers suck? It's a daily blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up.
starts your day, then keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How'd you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter, National Safety Council, and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Arizona Rattlers football.
Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Tune in to hear every home game live.
Let's go, boys.
Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship.
Hey, we're going to win. It's going to be on us.
Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender on a Monday. Keon, I like this. It's funky. Man, this gets me in a good mood.
I know. Got the grooves.
Anyway, I'm Randy White. That's Keon Rose. We're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale. Jeffrey O'Brien called up to the big league team. We're sitting here in the minors, kind of toiling away, working on our skills, and you're joining us on the text line at 888-368-1580. Many comments about Matt Ryan becoming the quarterback of the the Indianapolis Colts. I haven't called Baltimore in, I don't know, 47 years now. So the dementia is kicking in for me. I apologize for that. The Indianapolis Colts picking up Matt Ryan today. Also, the New Orleans Saints with that other guy, the Swiss Army knife. What's his name? He's not in the mix anywhere. What's his name again? What's his name? Anyway, doesn't matter. He was their running back, wide receiver, guard, tackle. What was his? Anyway,
I got distracted. I don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's the other New Orleans guy, number 7. Anyway, Jameis Winston will be the new quarterback for New Orleans. There's no talk about Wonder Boy coming back to be the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and Matt Ryan's new quarterback for your Colts. If you're a Colts fan, at 888-368-1580. Good Cat checks in. Breaking news: the Falcons are signing Marcus Mariota. Well, I've got all my devices open here. I don't see anything.
I did see something like that pop up little while ago, maybe an hour before I came in. Yeah.
The Colts signing Marcus Mariota. No,
the Falcons are.
The Falcons. Yeah. See that.
Yeah. No. He's
just hang on. Let me check here. Hang on. I don't see Marcus Mariota. Checking all my sources here. ESPN, CBS. Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, yep. Falcons trade Ryan to Colts, add Mariota. There you go. So there it is. It's been confirmed. How do you feel about that?
It's a good pickup for them, because they're rebuilding. They're not trying to find the answer at quarterback. But if he plays well, maybe that is your answer at quarterback. And if he doesn't play well, that was just your bridge guy. And now you're going into 2023, looking into that draft, which is a draft with more high-end prospects, more high-end guys. You just put it in Marcus Mariota's hands and just see what you have. It doesn't cost you very much. You're not a playoff team right now. He's a solid bridge quarterback.
Thank you, Moist One. It's Taysom Hill. That's who I was looking for. Thank you, Moist One. I can always count on you. Swave Dave says, hey, guys, missed the sounder for the emergency key on the broadcasting system. What?
Not sure I follow.
Thunder Snow says, Taysom Hill. Thank you, Thunder Snow. Fourth Dimension's always got my back. Hefty Lefty says, Taysom Hill. I think Hard Knocks this season should just be watching the quarterback competition at the Falcons and Seahawks camps. The comedy that can come from Mariota, Rosen, and Franks would be hilariously bad.
Well, I think that Mariota is a decent quarterback. His problem wasn't that he was throwing bad passes or he was inaccurate. He's very accurate, actually. But he would actually be too tentative. He'd keep the ball too much instead of, you know what? There was a position where you needed to just throw it. And he overthinks things, overprocesses. And that's his big problem. And I think that it continues to be his problem. We'll see if he can get over it.
Problem I have is the New Orleans Saints re-signed quarterback Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $28 million contract. Are they overpaying for a quarterback? Now, remember, their coaching staff is in shambles. They don't have their Hall of Fame quarterback in here anymore. They're bringing back Winston. Taysom Hill is out, apparently. Even after they gave him that big giant contract, was it last year? Do you expect the New Orleans Saints to be good this season?
Not really. They have big talent at key positions, and actually, they were pretty close to making the playoffs last season. So it wasn't like they were just completely awful and horrible. But they were just trying to make do with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian at quarterback, and you just can't do that and expect to win too many games. I don't know how bad they're going to be without Sean Payton, but we'll see. But when you add Jameis to the mix, it's, do you get good Jameis or bad Jameis? And the whole point of getting Jameis the first time around was that Sean Payton was going to help you find good Jameis and be the quarterback whisperer that brought that out. I don't know that anyone's going to be able to do that for Jameis anymore. He's just going to have to start making good decisions with the football. But as far as did they pay, like, is this a good contract? Yeah, it's 2 years, 28
million, 2 years.
So that's $14 million a year. That's a pretty cheap quarterback, actually. So you're looking at a guy that you're hoping can play above that 14 mil mark and play like a top 15, close to top 10 quarterback. If you can get that out of him, then yeah, that's a steal.
All right. Well, there you go. Jameis Winston will be the quarterback, probably starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints this year. Taysom Hill, thank you for it to mention, does not look to be in the mix. He will return to his regularly scheduled program. Houston, do we have a problem in the Bronx? There's a sealed letter that was sent to the Yankees from the MLB commissioner that is going to be unsealed and it's going to go public. It's regarding cheating. From 2017, the investigation into the New York Yankees will become a public document 2 years after a federal judge ruled it should be unsealed. Apparently, neither Yankees nor the MLB want this to happen because there's something in this letter that will destroy the New York Yankees, pristine and sterling reputation. And it will make them seem like they are just part of debauchery and cheating from baseball past. They'll be no better than the Houston Astros.
Well, if they were cheating in 2017, they really will be no better than the Houston Astros. At least the Astros cheated and won a ring. you can't cheat and don't win.
Yeah,
also
had that damn ring. But anyway,
no, they shouldn't.
Randy Levine, they never put a pronunciation on this. Yankees team president argued that the release of this letter in December of 2020 saying it would raise serious privacy issues and that the letters by the Houston Astros and the Red Sox filed as confidential in the lawsuit weren't being made public. Levin also said the letter would harm the Yankees' sterling reputation as being upholding of all the great traditions. Oh, shut up.
Well, I mean, your reputation should be ruined if you actually did the thing that's ruining your reputation.
Yeah. Why are there sealed letters?
Oh,
doesn't the public deserve to know what the hell was going on?
They do. I don't know. Actually, that's a big George question, isn't it? Because I don't actually know the real reason why certain letters get sealed. I just know that it happens.
Well, this speaks again to Rob Manfred and his horrible leadership. Why is he sending a sealed letter to the team? If this thing if there was cheating going on and the MLB took care of it, why is there a sealed letter? Is this like a warning letter? Let's speculate for a second, Keon. I love speculating on stuff. What could this be? Could this be now look, Yankees, you've won the World Championship 27 times by buying that trophy and going and spending all that money because you can. If you cheat again, we're gonna take one of those away from you. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it is a warning letter. I don't know if they're going to try and take a championship away or whatever, Major League Baseball, because I mean Rob Manfred could do literally anything. Untrustworthy is what I'm getting at. But he is just a fickle person. But Major League Baseball, I think, doesn't want another cheating scandal out there. You already had one, and you handle it poorly, and everyone can tell you handled it the wrong way. You didn't actually punish the cheaters. So what was the whole purpose of your entire investigation, except that they got you so bad you had no way to know why, except then to let the cheaters get away with cheating? I mean, that's really what it is. And now we're looking at maybe potentially another scandal. So what do? Well, we send a warning shot to them. Hey, cut this out, or we will, come down hard on you. We maybe let the Astros off the hook. We're not going to let you off the hook. Some version of that.
Manfred wrote the letter to the Yankees general manager, Brian Cashman, and it's alleged to contain proof of the team's sign-stealing methods from 2017 when the New York was busted for improperly using a dugout phone, and the Boston Red Sox were found to be using Apple Watches to pick up on signals from opposing teams. I mean, come on. Why are you sealing a letter? Why not get it out in the open and get this thing over with?
That's the thing.
We're in 2022, man. Come on. This is 5 years later. What's going on?
This is the Rob Manfred special. I mean, he did it with the lockout. Why negotiate? Why start negotiating much later? When if we started in December, this would have been over. Is what he did with the last investigation. He waits until the last possible second to do things, and that is bad leadership.
The Yankees argue that the harm from the unsealing of the Yankees letter will rise because of its content would be distorted to falsely and unfairly generate confusing scenario that the Yankees had somehow violated MLB's sign-stealing rules, when in fact the Yankees did not, according to the court. That argument, however, carries little weight. Disclosure of the document will allow the public to independently assess MLB's conclusion regarding the internal investigation as articulated to the Yankees, and the Yankees are fully capable of disseminating their own views regarding the actual content of the Yankees letter. Wow. Neither the Yankees nor the Major League Baseball immediately commented about the unsealing of the letter.
It's not good.
I mean, why send a sealed?
Because you don't want the information to get out there.
Well, I mean, I guess I understand that, but it doesn't.
Now, to me, I think you should want the information to get out there. If there is a scandal going on, and Major League Baseball, I assume if they can bury it, they'd bury it. But if once they can't bury it, then the next course of action should be, let's just get it out, get ahead of it, and work on the business of trying to fix this. You wait 5 years, especially if the letter becomes unsealed, or when the letter becomes unsealed, and we know what it is that Major League Baseball knew and when they knew it, because that's what that letter is going to tell us, then all you've done is make yourself look less credible in all this.
Big George at 888-368-1580 puts a simple definition on this, says letters get sealed so things are covered up and not publicly disclosed. If there was nothing there, it would already be open to the public. The court ruled correctly here in unsealing the letters. So there is something there, and we are looking out for the fallout of this sign stealing scandal. Watermelon says, who cares? The Yankees. Let's move on. Cards Chappie says, Asterix doesn't work well with the Yankees as it does with the Astros. Well, Senior Wake and Bake wants to tell you, Keon, what's up your knowledge is futile. Ryan over Jimmy G. What you smoking?
For the next couple of...
It is past 420.
It is. For the next couple of years. If you said Ryan or Jimmy G, I'm asking, when am I going to win? If I'm going to win right now, I'm going to go with Matt Ryan, a guy who's going to be steady and not make big time mistakes to lead my football team that is largely a running football team. If you say, hey, I need a guy that's going to be young and give me more chances to win in the future, then obviously, you go Jimmy G.
Good Cat, I did verify that from the NFL Instagram. He showed me a screen capture of the Mariota trade to the Falcons. I did verify that. Good work, Good Cat. Thank you very much. You know why I have to verify my sources. Also, the Hefty Lefty says Jeter shot JFK from the grassy knoll. That's what's on the report.
Don't think Derek Jeter's old enough.
Hamilton Porter says Tommy Lloyd learned from Sean Miller's mistake. You pay the Zebras, not the players, to win. Just a tip has this before we go to break here. As long as we're on the topic, Randy, this coming race at Coda has me pumped. I hated turning right at first, but now I love it. This will be an awesome race, short miles, but lots of action. Can't wait. One Evan Williams single barrel neat with a Coors Light, please, and thank you. What he's talking about, here's your Evan Williams, and here's your Coors Light, is the Circuit of the Champions of the Americas, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. That's where NASCAR is heading. It's their first road course of the season. Chase Elliott has been the road course master. Kyle Larson has shown that he is very good at road courses as well. So the race is coming up this week, and hopefully this year, just a tip, it's not going to be a deluge from the sky of rain falling down and pounding on the pavement there of the racetrack. And hopefully this is a clean race under sunny skies, and we can see some real action. That was very dangerous last year. I did not like it at all. But yeah, I'm excited about it too, and I think it should be a lot of fun, weather permitting. When we come back, it's more baseball stuff. And then we've got in the third hour, all NFL here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, both made with fresh cracked eggs, or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve. If you or someone you know needs assistance with benefits, health care and wellness, employment, or housing, Visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Medical data brought to you from Summit Male Medical Center. Over half of the guys over the age of 45 have some type of erectile dysfunction. If you fall into this category, you are obviously not alone. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Call Summit Male Medical at 480-398-1000. Let our Arizona licensed doctors and all male medical staff using FDA-approved medication help you enjoy your life again. We guarantee it. Low testosterone, common signs are muscle loss, irritability, weight gain, decreased libido. Our testosterone therapy will turn you around. Discreet, professional, and we are successful. Don't let getting older get you down. Call today, 480-398-1000. That's 480-398-1000. Or go to summitmalemedical.com. What are you waiting for? Call today, 480-398-1000.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say
you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender of 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, your home for sports betting, all sorts of stuff like that. As a matter of fact, you can protect yourself against upsets this March with bracket parlay insurance at FanDuel Sportsbook. I used it myself. I had a parlay going on, and one of the teams, I'm not going to talk about who it was. One of the teams was not performing well. I enacted that. I got my $25 back, and I was safe and secured. And you could do the same thing. If one of your legs or more falls short, build your own parlay based on teams playing, based on the teams in the tournament matching up against each other. Look, if something goes south, pull the parachute, dude. Get out of there. You not only do you have that, but you also have the chance to cash out. Game's not going your way, you can cash out. Again, pull the parachute, man. And you can do that on FanDuel Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook in the country. And it's number one for a reason, because they have options like this, easy cash outs, parlay insurance, opportunities for you not to lose a whole bunch of money. Pull the parachute, man. You can turn a small bet in a parlay into a big payday, and you've got all sorts of options to do so. Just go to FanDuel Sportsbook and look up the opportunities. If you're new to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code Randy1580, and then you can bet the bracket all tournament long. Again, promo code Randy1580 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Remember, you got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. If exactly one leg loses, refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit. That expires in 7 days. NCAA tournament SBK wager required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Let's go to the text line real quick. Rattlers fan, AZ, number one AZ Rattlers fan says 50 to 28-28. Rattlers win 50 to 28-28. Rattlers win, of course. We actually had 21-0 second half. Our defense played really good. I tried to get it on the radio, but that silly basketball tournament was there. Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out, number one Rattlers fan. Are you saying that we won 2,828 to 50? What the hell kind of a score is that? I mean, that's just like decimation.
I know.
Did the Rattlers just come in and vaporize their opponents?
You have to basically just every pass you throw, and you never give the ball up. You just, I don't even know. It's like it's an assembly line essentially. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm reading the text verbatim. 50 to 28-28. Rattlers win. Of course. We actually had a 21-0 second half. Our defense played really good. So, are you saying that you scored 2,800 points in the first half, And the second half, it was 21-0.
Well, I mean, they called off the dogs there. That's just good sportsmanship.
Wow.
I mean, you drop 2,800 in the first half. No need to embarrass them at that point.
I mean, 28 to 50. Good Lord. Coach Guy's got to be happy today. Randy's Chuckle says, is that why Jeffrey's missing? He heard Colts are getting Ryan, so he's still throwing up in the bathroom? No.
I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, he's okay with it.
He's up at the big league club, and Keon and I are still here in minor league camp. Ukla the Mock says, oh, sorry, Keon, but Matt Ryan lost a 28-3 lead in a Super Bowl. Don't think he will win now. Hi, Randy. Hi, Ukla.
Yeah, and that some of the responsibility goes on Matt Ryan for that, and some of the responsibility goes on Kyle Shanahan for that. It's weird. We bring up the 28-3 with Matt Ryan a lot.
Yeah,
the guy calling the plays. What is he? Escape scot-free? No, he was calling the plays. He didn't look at his play chart in any of that second half while the whole lead was evaporating and think to himself, yeah, let's call a run on one of these, burn some clock.
I'm still having a hard time with that 2,828 point to 50.
No football league at any level has ever seen numbers like that.
Wow. Blissful Hayes says, Matt Ryan's record the last 4 years, 25 wins, 40 losses. I wouldn't want him on my team.
Okay, you wouldn't want that defense either that they've got in Atlanta. You wouldn't want that running game. You wouldn't want most of those players. So you can do the quarterback wins thing too, but if the team's not any good, quarterback's not going to win unless he's Tom Brady.
I mean, can you imagine a game where you're playing the other team and they are up 2,000 points plus?
At what point don't you just quit? Like I know we don't like to see people quit in sports, but to me, once you've cleared the century mark, you're not going to quadruple digit me before I quit. It's just,
dude, if you're up plus 2,800 points on me, I'm leaving. I have better things to do.
Like once you hit 100, I'm done. In
a
football game,
you're beating my ass by 2,800 points. I could go home and sweep the gutters out, for heaven's sakes. Hamilton Porter says, what? No comment? That body tackle, no call at the end of the game was okay with you guys? What's he talking about?
No, I don't. I don't remember exactly in what context, but no, it was not okay.
Body tackle. No call.
I just said it earlier in the show. The officiating has been bad. I think the comment was about paying off the refs instead of the players. I don't think the refs were paid off. I think the refs were bad. I think the refs were bad the whole weekend across multiple games.
Well, speaking of bad officiating, boy, did Golden State take one in the shorts last night, huh? That was weird. Draymond Green got called for a technical. 10 seconds later, he got called for his second technical and thrown from the game. That was just weird.
I did see the video of him getting tossed. I didn't actually get to see that game.
Yeah, and then there was a phantom foul under the basket against Golden State. It makes me wonder, is Tom Donahue, is he back in the officiating game?
He is not back in the officiating game.
All right. Well, the most important thing is the Suns win last night against the Sacramento Kings, which, by the way, Fed Fan and I both believe that Sacramento, for whatever reason, has some sort of mojo on the Suns, and they always play them tough. It took overtime last night. Landry Shamet had to hit that three-pointer from the corner to raise the Suns to another win. But, by the way, that also means that the damn Lakers stink. I mean, the Lakers are horrible.
Just a truly bad basketball team with almost no redeeming qualities. LeBron is literally the one redeeming quality.
I mean, all LeBron shows up for is to try to break records, right?
That's all he's got left. I mean, and I think he's really trying to drag this team because his assist numbers are up, his scoring is up. Like LeBron is doing everything he can actually do. Well, and it doesn't matter.
He's out there, and that's the most selfish thing I've heard. He's out there getting personal stats, personal points. Meanwhile, his team is terrible. And they've done nothing to repair it or fix it.
I mean, I don't know what LeBron's supposed to do. the thing is, I don't know if it's selfish on his part. This team is bad, and they were going up against the trade deadline, and nobody wants any of their bad players. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook. You know, I guess you could go with Austin Reeves. I'm sure there were some teams that would have wanted him, but what would you've gotten back for an Austin Reeves? You wouldn't have gotten anything that makes you a contender.
Last night, LeBron James took the court again and passed Karl Malone on the all-time scoring list. I'm sorry, it wasn't last night. It was on Saturday night during the game against the Washington. I didn't want to say that. Sorry. James entered the game needing 20 points to eclipse the Utah Jazz legend, and of course he got that. But I mean the rest of the team, and this website I'm reading off this. James took the floor looking as good as ever as he was in total control of things for a Lakers team in desperate need of a spark as we enter the final stretch of the regular season. Jeez, come on, man. If LeBron's in total control here, something's happening. He's not in total control here, man.
I mean, he's in total control of his abilities, but that's about it. There is, and Russell Westbrook played pretty well, but they're bad because Washington's bad. I know Washington's bad. They're rebuilding. That's all that happened this season was they were trading away pieces and giving away guys for the whole purpose of let's try and get some draft picks in here, try and get some young talent in here. There's a little bit of tanking going on, I think, because they were going to make the play-in game, and ever since the trade deadline, they've dropped below that mark. So yeah, I think you try go in there and get yourself another piece.
James had 23 points and 10 for 16 shooting in the first half, with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Entering the evening, James scored 36,909 points, almost as much as the Rattlers did in their game this past weekend. They had 2,880 points or something. Wow.
Crazy.
Anyway, Karl Malone had 36,928 points. He still has a way to go to pass Paula Abdul. Congratulations, Paula Abdul, who scored 38,387 in her career. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't have my glass. Abdul Jabbar. I'm sorry. I thought that was Paul Abdul. I'm sorry. James already has the NBA record for points scored in regular season and playoffs. Well, good for him. Meanwhile, your team absolutely reeks. He ought to be ashamed of himself. In my opinion, he ought to be ashamed of himself for not doing something to try to make this team better.
I just don't know what else he can do because like LeBron does get to have some say in what goes on with who comes in onto the team. They'll ask him, they'll ask for what he wants, but LeBron is not going out there and signing specific guys and putting the team together specifically. Rob Pelinka is the general manager.
I know that, but Pelinka is just a pawn. We all know that. Come on.
He, to a degree, but Pelinka's still got to go out there and say, hey, who do you want? What do you want to have? How, what kind of player do you need? Is there, somebody's got to do all that legwork. That's Pelinka's job. And people have general managed with superstars before, and Michael Jordan was able to have say so on a team, but ultimately, the Bulls were going to make the decisions they were going to make. This front office is bad. And outside of getting Anthony Davis and convincing LeBron to join that team, what have they done?
So do they take a hammer at the end and just pound it and just break this entire team apart and start from scratch? And you've got LeBron James and get rid of Anthony Davis and move him along because he's no longer Anthony Davis. He's Anthony Glass Ankles.
Yeah, he doesn't really play. And maybe you try to factor him into the future, but I don't see how you do it if he can't stay healthy.
I'm just surprised Paul Abdul scored so many points in the NBA. I thought she was really short. NASCAR Nick
had a good shot.
NASCAR Nick on the text line at 888-368 says Colts should have just started Sam Ellinger and saved the money on Ryan. Sounds like we've got another Texas fan here.
I like Sam, but I don't know if he's ready.
All right. Well, when we come back, it's hour number 3 of the Daily Blender on this March 21st. Don't forget, it's crispy or crunchy taco day, something along those lines. Enjoy some tacos tonight, even though it's not Taco Tuesday. I got some yummy tacos I'm going to enjoy when I get done here. Anyway, we'll be back with hour number 3 up next here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hope you come back, everybody. Paula. At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Both made with fresh cracked eggs. Or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
Contractors, listen up. This is Bruce Jacobs. Are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go, serving all types of contractors of any size and license in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
Think you know about meth? Think again. Today's methamphetamine is far more potent, more addictive, and more deadly than ever before. Today's meth is often laced with the deadly drug fentanyl. In fact, deaths from meth use have doubled in Arizona. What can you do? Get the facts at thenewmeth.com and know there's hope and resources for recovery. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour. All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody, it's hour number 3 of the Daily Blender on this Monday, March 21st, 2022. My name is Randy White. That's Keon Rose over there behind the glass, hermetically sealed in the control room at the Harmon Solar Studios. Jeffrey O'Brien has been called up to the big show. He'll be with the big team. I don't know when he's coming back, but we're toiling away here in the minor leagues, trying to get you all the latest information on sports, life, stuff. I mean, we heard a couple of things last hour that just flabbergasted me, Keon. I don't know about you. First of all, #1 Rattlers fan reporting that the Rattlers beat another team. And I don't know what this other team was, and I'm glad that he did not share what this other team was. But apparently the Rattlers won this past weekend, 2,828 to 50. And that 2,800 points, 2,800 points was in the first half.
It's incredible. I'm speechless.
We also heard that Paula Abdul has a scoring record in the NBA that I was unaware of. LeBron James is now second only to Paula Abdul in the NBA scoring record.
It's been one hell of a Monday.
I know. These are things that have just flabbergasted. Big George says the Lakers are so bad, they're in jeopardy of losing a 10th and final playoff spot to San Antonio. Who would have thought the Lakers would have been this awful? It brings me so much joy. Yeah, and you know what? And me too, Big George. And me too.
Lakers.
Yeah.
Burn in hell, Lakers.
I mean, I love that song. Thank you. Thank you, Fish Tank. I love that. Good Cat says, LaCry baby James built his team and the pseudo GM. It's all his fault. Hey, is it?
I wouldn't blame it all on him, but
yeah.
I
Because
mean,
I thought he was there before James got there. I thought Pelinka was there.
he was there. Yeah. Look, LeBron, there are things when the people that are associated with LeBron, those are his fault. Russell Westbrook, I mean, that's a trade that I have no doubt LeBron recommended. Carmelo Anthony's actually been playing pretty decently, but he's a role player at this point. So that's just the way that's going to be. But like some of these guys that LeBron brought in, Russell Westbrook's not working out the way any of us thought. Carmelo Anthony's obviously giving you like role player level stuff, but some of these other guys that came in that Laker fans were very excited at the beginning of the season that these guys were going to make a serious difference and push the Lakers upward and to at least a Western Conference, appearance. We're not going to get anything that even looks like that. DJ Augustin was a guy that people were excited about. Talon Horton Tucker, who I think is a really good piece, but these people weren't going to push you into championship contention.
Yeah.
And Rob Pelinka should have known that.
I have to ask the question. Does anybody tell LeBron no? Does anyone at all say maybe this is not a good move?
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that do. When he was in Cleveland, he had a good relationship with Ty Lue. Ty Lue could be like, "No, Bron, we're not doing this." When he was in Miami, Pat Riley was the guy that was like, "No,"
but not here in Los Angeles.
No, because that's the stage that LeBron's career is in. I mean, he's basically a playing legend in the league. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to tell LeBron James no. I just think that some of these pieces around that I don't think LeBron had any say in whether or not Malik Monk was coming, because I don't think LeBron much cared.
Yeah.
Or Austin Reeves or Stanley Johnson. Like, I don't think LeBron cared enough about those guys to offer a ton of input. But when it came to, hey, let's go get Russell Westbrook and see if he fits, well, then he doesn't fit. And then because LeBron is a very passive aggressive person, now the locker room is incredibly awkward with Russell Westbrook, since LeBron was like, yeah, let's trade him after I recommended that we brought him in. So there is definitely stuff you can blame on LeBron. I just wouldn't blame it all on LeBron, because there's a whole front office that when LeBron is gone, they're still going to be bad.
Moist One wants to remind us that you can't guard Paula Abdul straight up. No, straight up. Now tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh. Or am I just caught in a hit and run? You're right, Moist One. You cannot guard Paula Abdul straight up. The Hefty Lefty says, sounds like the Rattlers were playing the Lakers. Yeah, that's true. It's true. He also says one of the problems with the Lakers, the style of play that LeBron is playing to get his awesome stats, is counterintuitive to the rest of the team's strengths. The team's best strength is running the break. LeBron wastes 8 seconds every possession just walking into the front court. Do you agree with that, Keon?
I actually do agree with that. My issue, and again, this is why I blame the actual general manager of the team, Rob Pelinka. LeBron has always been a guy where he's the guy that has to hold the ball. He's got to have the ball in his hands. And then you surround him with talent that makes that work. Or you get superstars like, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who are able to put their egos to the side, take a back seat, and let LeBron be the ball handler, make all those decisions. Well, LeBron's old now, so they can't run. He can't run, because therefore they can't run. And that's really the main issue is LeBron can't play the style that the rest of this team would probably play a whole lot better. But when LeBron's not on the floor, oh, good God, it's not good. They're worse without him. They are worse without him.
And are you here to tell me that the Lakers cannot trade Russell Wilson somewhere to somebody?
He's got a giant contract. Like, that's the reason why
okay.
the Wizards couldn't wait. The Wizards didn't get back anybody great for Russell Westbrook. I think
they were just unloading the contract.
Yeah, I mean, they got back Montrezl Harrell, who was fun, but they ended up waiving him. Kyle Kuzma, I enjoy watching Kuzma play when he's playing well, but that's a very inconsistent thing. If the Wizards just got whatever they were going to take to get rid of that awful, awful contract, and the Lakers were the only team stupid enough to take it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why we're talking about the Lakers so much.
Because it's funny.
Yeah.
That's why. A little bit of joy.
Yeah. That's got to be it. But I mean, Paul Abdul, that's pretty
very
impressive. Let's see. King of Kittens wants me to know that Connor Watson, a high school pitcher from Baghdad, has thrown 3 consecutive no-hitters. Well, I mean, that's wonderful and everything, and I don't mean this to sound disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, but he's in Baghdad.
Is he from Baghdad or is he in Baghdad?
He's a school pitcher from Baghdad, Arizona.
Oh.
If he's pitching in Baghdad, he's in Baghdad. Let's see. Blissful Hayes says, will the great Josh Rosen be the starter for the Falcons opening day? No, we've already discovered it's Marcus Mariota, Blissful Hayes. Just sit down and let your trip happen, man. Close your eyes and enjoy the ride. It's going to be all right. 888-368-1580. Let's see. Lots of stuff to talk about. For the second time in a week, the Rockies have shelled out millions of dollars for a top-level free agent. Yeah, signing McMahon on a 6-year extension. The Rockies are loading up. You might recall last week they signed Chris Bryant to a 7-year deal, and more moves could be on the way, according to general manager of the Rockies, Bill Schmidt. He says he's not ruled out anything before the start of the season. So they've already spent tons of millions of dollars on players for the Colorado Rockies. 6-year extension through May of 2027. According to the MLB.com, it's worth $70 million.
That's a big number.
The hell are the Rockies doing?
Trying to win, apparently. But the complaint that we have about baseball all the time is you're going to have to spend money if you want to compete with a lot of these teams. There was a point where you could use analytics and save yourself some cash here, save yourself some cash there. With a cheaper roster, you could do more. But these teams that are spending money are using the analytics too. So now you're cutting corners there, and they're able to be better than you are, and it's not leveling the playing field the way that it did originally. And so here the Rockies, they're throwing money at anybody and everybody who they think can help them make some kind of a run.
Well, they've landed Chris Bryant, and he wanted to go there, according to those that are close to him, because the organization and the city is pretty. What? Really? And this McMahon kid has come up through the Rockies organization. They've just extended him, and he's staying with the organization. Meanwhile, a former Rockies shortstop, he just signed a gigantic deal in Boston. Trevor Story is the new Boston starting shortstop, a 6-year, $140 million contract. That, according to sources. Holy cow.
Which I guess makes sense. Because Trevor Story was the big offseason move that if you asked a lot of Rockies insiders, all those people, what do the Rockies need to do? Well, they need to bring back Trevor Story. Well, once you make the move on Chris Bryant, you've already said bye-bye to Trevor. And
Well, they must have somebody in the farm program that's going to play shortstop for them. That's as good, if not a formidable, close second. Houston Astros second baseman Jose Altuve was surprised to understand that his middle field partner Carlos Correa had signed an enormous contract with the Minnesota Twins. Correa reached a $105.3 million 3-year deal with the Twins Friday night. The Twins in Minnesota.
Yeah. That's huge. I think it's a good move for him. I mean, they got to get competitive.
Yeah. Speaking of competitive, Arizona Diamondbacks.
The very definition of competitive, really.
Yeah, let me give you a sort of a rundown of what they've done. And they should be really proud of themselves. Caleb Baragar, they acquired off waivers from San Francisco. He's a pitcher. Oliver Perez, they signed him to a minor league contract. He's a pitcher. Wilmer Defoe is a second baseman. They signed him to a minor league
Wilmer
contract.
Defoe. Yeah, he was in that once.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Keon Kela, maybe. He's a pitcher. Signed him to a minor league contract. A catcher, Grayson Griner, signed into a minor league contract. March 15th, they signed Ian Kennedy. Signed him as a free agent, 1-year contract with an option in 2023. Dan Straley, he's starting pitcher. Signed him to a minor league contract. January 25th of this year, Juan Centeno, maybe. He's a catcher. Signed him to a minor league contract. Mark Melanson, he's a relief pitcher. I signed him as a free agent.
He's a good reliever.
Yeah, well,
he's a solid reliever.
Henry Ramos. Oh no, he left the team. He's signed to play in Korea. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's about it.
That's
I'm looking down the list here of
not a whole lot that impresses, and that's just I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah. Tyler Clippard, remember when we got him? Relief pitcher, Tyler Clippard, remember that?
Yeah.
Last year? Well, he declared for free agency, declined a mutual option. He wants to get the hell out of here.
Okay, because the good Clippard years were, he was pretty dominant.
Remember Cole Calhoun, who would be a hell of a DH right now? Yeah, he declined free agency. He declined, or he declared free agency, declined a team option.
Of course.
But hey, we signed Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, it's not looking competitive. It really isn't.
This is sad.
It's very sad.
You would think about last year, and you think about what these other teams are doing. I just said the Minnesota Twins, the Colorado Rockies, and then you just listen to what I'm saying here about the Arizona Diamondbacks. Caleb Baragar. We claimed him off waivers from San Francisco. It's going to be a long season.
Yeah.
For my Diamondbacks.
Why did we want baseball back again? What were we?
I'm just going to, I've got a magnetic standings thing in my office here, in my studio here. I'm just going to go ahead and put the Diamondbacks, not in fifth in the National League West. I'm going to put them at the bottom of the board, as far down as I can go. I'm going to move the damn Pirates into the West because they'll be better than the Diamondbacks. What's wrong?
Rough.
What is wrong with what is going on with the Arizona Diamondbacks that they don't want to make any deals? Now I know they've hired a couple of gray hair guys. They hired a couple of gray hair so-called elite pitchers that were not elite pitchers over the last few seasons. But you look at this in this off-season transactions page that I'm on right now, it is just absolutely depressing. What's going on with Arizona?
It is. I don't even know what to say. I wish that I had some kind of an answer for what this is, but this organization is not interested in spending money. They're not interested in being good.
Washington, I think the day after the lockout, might have been the day they lifted the lockout, signed a DH in what's his name? The big thumper kid. What's his name? Washington did that.
Yeah, and the Lerner family is notoriously cheap. They'll spend money in spots, but they
I've got competition for them.
Oh, absolutely. But they want to win. It's not that they don't want to win. It's that they want to be very strategic about their money and where they put it, which I can respect. I can't respect. We're just not spending money. Well, why? We're just not spending money. What is that? Don't your fans deserve better than that?
Well, yes, they do. I'm really depressed about this, so I'm going to take a minute here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll take your text at 888-368-1580. Thank you, Moist One. It was Nelson Cruz. Thank you.
Yeah.
What would I do without Moist One? Nelson Cruz was signed the day. It was either the day of the lockout being lifted or the very next day by Washington. And the damn Diamondbacks, all they can do is sign Ian Kennedy off of waivers. Are you kidding me? Let's talk about it. Diamondback fans, where are you? Let's talk about it. 888-368-1580. That's right around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Arizona basketball into the Sweet 16 after an overtime win against TCU on Sunday night. Up next for Arizona, a Thursday game in San Antonio when they match up against Houston. Arizona favored by 2, the over-under at 145. The point spreads for the rest of Thursday's Sweet 16 action. Gonzaga opens as an 8.5-point favorite against Arkansas. Villanova opening up as a 5-point favorite against Michigan. And Texas Tech a 1-point favorite against Duke. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, both made with fresh cracked eggs, or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How'd you like to work here?
At the Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the six-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history.
Let's keep it going.
Arizona Rattlers football, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
You know, I have to tell you, I'm just, I'm flabbergasted. I am completely confused. I'm perplexed. First, I was perplexed at the Diamondbacks bringing back Torey Lovello. And then I was perplexed at what I just read to you on the air, which is the transaction sheet from the Arizona Diamondbacks this offseason. I gave you plenty of examples of what other teams are doing. The Minnesota damn Twins have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to bring in a top-level guy who pointed to his wrist. Remember the playoffs last season? It's my time. The Diamondbacks signed Ian Kennedy. 888-368-1580 is the text line. King of Kittens says, whenever you play Burning Hell Lakers, I always sing Shut the Hell Up, Phil at the end. Well, thank you. Big George says, seeing the Rockies spent all this money has me really upset. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the excuse people use for why the Diamondbacks don't spend money is because they are a small market. Well, everyone else in the division is spending big, and that includes two small market, air quotes, teams like the Colorado Rockies and the San Diego Padres. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks are just sitting on their rear ends doing nothing. Colty says, that's a very impressive list of what the Diamondbacks have done. Cowboy Sparky says, good Lord, did the Diamondbacks sign William Defoe? What? Hefty Lefty says, don't let those D-back moves get out to the public. They might break the internet. It's already done. Fish Tank says, somehow the Diamondbacks have been more active than the Cards. Thank goodness the Suns are good because there's a ton of issues across the other teams. And he did all the Cavs, so I had to yell it.
Of course.
Blissful Hay says, question is, will the Diamondbacks win a game in 2022? Oh, yeah, they'll win a game. Senior Wake and Bake, Randy, who's going to be better, D-backs or Coyotes, or neither? I think at this point, the Coyotes. Moist One says, Nelson Cruz, thank you, Moist One. I got that. Moist One's always got my back. Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, says, hey, guys, sorry, been away for a bit due to work. No Jeffrey today. Is he as happy with the Colts' most recent quarterback acquisition as I am with the Dodgers' new first baseman? Yeah, see, there you go. Dodgers. Freddie Freeman, $100+ million.
I don't want to talk about it.
Just the Tip says, I have an artist friend of mine creating prototype jersey designs, color themes, and logos for the upcoming Las Vegas Diamondbacks. Yeah, well, they'll suck too. The Diamondbacks, in case you missed it, I read their transaction list that is updated every day. Caleb Beauregard, a relief pitcher, was acquired today off waivers from San Francisco. Also today, Oliver Perez, a relief pitcher, signed a minor league contract.
Ground shaking stuff here.
I mean, if I go through the National League West here, with what's happened over the last several days, this has got to make you sick. The hell are the Diamondbacks doing?
Not trying to win, just writing something that will turn a profit. Whether or not you win in baseball is not connected to whether or not you make money. And these owners know it. Now, it was one of the reasons why the lockout, I was not going to side with the owners for 1 second. That they're making money regardless of what they do. And unfortunately, the handful of teams that aren't even trying to win, they make money whether they try to win or not.
Flying Monkeys on the text line at 888-368-1580 says, the Diamondbacks are a business, not a baseball team.
Yep, that's the cleaner way of saying it. That if you want it to efficiently give you money as the ownership group, it does do that very well.
Heavy Metal Maniacs asks the question, who's going to have a better record, Diamondbacks or the Reno Aces? Moist One says, Oliver Perez has to be in his 40s by now. Perfect. Random texter asked me if I just called the Diamondbacks the Dime Bags. No, that wasn't me. That was Blissful Hayes, I believe.
Oh my!
Big George says, "Oh boy, Ian Kennedy coming back to the Diamondbacks, way past his prime. Can he play DH? Because I don't know who else they have that can play DH besides Ketel Marte." You're right, Big George.
Yeah. By the way, Oliver Perez is 40 on the dot. Yeah. Ian Kennedy's 37. Yay.
Thundar, the Santa Barbarian. Don't get discouraged, guys. The D-backs are about to raid the premier talent from all those AA teams to put together a surprise for the fans this year.
There might be a better way to win, though. Like if you spent money on players.
Wilmer Defoe.
Not to be confused with the actor Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Signed a minor league contract 2 days ago. Zach, that long ball hitter, Grayson Griner, and he signed a minor league contract. He's a prospect, that Grayson Griner. Whew. Look, fans, it's obvious the ownership group of this team don't care. It is obvious. They don't care about the rich history of this Arizona Diamondbacks team. Fastest ever to win a World Series as an expansion franchise. We've had Hall of Famers walk the halls of the locker rooms and the training facilities of the Diamondbacks Stadium. We've seen walk-off games and excitement where the Diamondbacks beat the best that the National League and the American League could throw at us. And now we're signing people like Caleb Beauregard.
I don't know what's happening.
I do. I know exactly what's happening. And our texters know exactly. The fourth dimension knows exactly what's happening. The ownership group of this baseball team doesn't care. And they're running it like a damn business.
And that's the thing. I when I moved out here, I didn't realize that was what was going on with the Diamondbacks, rooting for a bunch of other teams and watching a bunch of other teams. And I've seen poorly run teams. I root for a couple of poorly run organizations myself. But you can never say that those organizations didn't want to win. I mean, maybe they were incompetently run and they didn't, but they always wanted to. I have trouble understanding, like I get it on paper when you describe it to me, but I have trouble understanding emotionally as a fan what it's like to watch a team when they're not trying. That's the part that it's just blowing me away right now, as I am physically watching this team over the course of an incredibly busy free agency period just not try.
Triple 8-368-1580. The moist one says no such thing as small markets in the MLB, just cheap owners. If you don't want to spend, sell the team for billions. The good cat says, with all these old guys, the D-backs are taking a page out of the Lakers book. I'm just going to read text because I have nothing to say other than, this is miserable. This is absolutely deplorable. It is absolutely terrible. The ownership group of the Diamondbacks absolutely are the worst and should go away. Just sell the damn team and give us new owners that want to at least compete.
Like, we can complain about a bunch of stuff. Did they spend the money well? If they're willing to try. If you don't want to try, I mean, I think it was Moist one that said it. Yeah, sell the team. It's just these teams, regardless of whether or not they're any good, are all valued at billions and billions of dollars. Just rake in the billions and move on.
They brought in their suits, and the suits are in the front office trying to put together a team out of cheap, nothing ball players. These guys who have a dream of playing in a major league franchise, they're not as good as anybody else, but they bring them up because of numbers. And they've been crunching numbers and doing mathematic equations rather than seeing these guys play on the field. And they're trying to do this money ball business, and it doesn't work. You've got to have some players on your team that are worth something. This is not the 1980s, and these are not the Oakland Athletics, and your system is broken. And all I can say to you as a fan is, please, dear God, sell the team and bring someone else in here who wants to win. This is a laughing stock. The Hefty Lefty says, do you think Grayson Griner would be a Gruden Griner given the chance? See, that whole Gruden Griner takes on a whole new meaning for me now that he's been outed.
Yeah.
Senior Wake and Bake stands on his protest against the MLB. And then he asks me a question. Is that a surprise? It's your birthday or surprise you have VD? I'm not sure I understand that, but thank you. I think I get where you're going. Navy Brad, the D-backs have raised the white flag for the season. Bring on 2023. I say don't bring on 2023. It'll be the same thing. It'll be the same damn thing. And it's too bad. I want Jerry Colangelo to own this team again. I want somebody with that kind of passion to win to own this team again.
I think that's what the fans deserve. I mean, that's what they're all clamoring for. It's just somebody who gives a damn half as much as they do. Because you don't even have to fully care. I'm just saying, spend some kind of money and don't throw cash at an aging Madison Bumgarner so you can say to everybody, oh, look, we spent money, when you know damn well that's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what's his name that we traded to the Houston Astros? We brought in here for 5 years at $25 million a year. Yeah, he just signed a contract with the Kansas City Royals. Meanwhile, people that we brought in under the former regime, yeah, they're going to the Hall of Fame. That's all. Max Scherzer. That's all. Hall of Fame. Random texter said, do you think the crappy team could coincide with no new stadium for the Diamondbacks? Are the owners being bigger babies than Kyler Murray and LeBron James combined? I don't think, random texter, I don't think they're being babies. I just think they don't want to spend any money. They're just in this to make their money. And then at some point, they're going to sell the team for billions of dollars and get out. The owners are making tons and tons and tons of money. That's what this lockout was all about. They were trying to take more money and keep more money and more share of the pie from the players. That's what the lockout was all about.
Because, I mean, you have a league so profitable, you can be horrible and make a bunch of cash. There's enough fans that show up to the games, and the TV deals, which in baseball, they're mostly local TV deals. That's where everybody's making money right now. The local TV deals are still enough. You make money, even if the team's bad.
They make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Just rake
each
it in.
Team. Oh my God. Now these guys are making money hand over fist. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Blissful Hayes says, unfortunately, many pro organizations run their teams as businesses and not to win. For example, the Bears. They haven't tried to win in years. They're cheap sons of bitches. Well, I think some of them are daughters. I don't think they're all sons. They only care about making money. But I get your point. Nice try. Just a tip. Gentlemen, I beg your pardon for a moment. We are within days of one of the most impactful days in a team history. That team, from ownership down to the volunteering to clean up outside the stadium, worked for one goal: win. This current BS is travesty compared to that. Well, I would agree. That's why I'm so bummed out about this baseball season for my Diamondbacks. Thank you for that, Moist One. I appreciate that. Good cat. Lavallo in the front office reliance on analytics is freaking disgusting. Well, that's all he can do. He's handcuffed. He's a handcuffed manager. He's a handcuffed manager. He can't make his own decisions.
And if you can't spend money, you're almost forced to do lean into analytics more. It's the only advantage you can try to get, because it's not financial. You're not competing with the Rockies with the money they're spending. You're not competing with the Padres or even the damn Twins. So like all you have left, I can't even blame them for leaning so hard into analytics. If management doesn't want to spend the money, analytics is kind of all you've got.
I'm moving the Diamondbacks magnet down to the bottom. There it is. It's all the way down. All the way down. All right. I got to take a break. When I come back, let's talk something more happy. Let's talk NFL, because there's all sorts of news out there, all sorts of fun. Let's get off this topic of baseball, because the Diamondbacks are going to suck this year, and I'm going to blow that horn all year long. Every time I'm asked about the Diamondbacks, I'm going to say, what do you want to know from me? They suck. They're in last place. They're absolutely horrid. Nobody wants to be on this team. That's all I'm going to say all year about the Arizona Diamondbacks. And we're going to talk NFL football when I come back around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com. Bruce Jacobs here again from my friends at ProCopy. For the last year, you've heard me talk about how ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available for over 20 years, plus their outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. Now part of Flex Technologies Group, they are committed to ProCopy's industry leadership and excellence. Whether you have branches anywhere in the U.S. or right here in Arizona, you can count on ProCopy and Flex Technologies companies for all your office equipment needs. They focus on print, document management, document production, and managed IT, representing the best brands such as Canon and Ricoh. They proudly serve over 35,000 customers nationally. They still remain a local company and continue to give back to the community. The ProCopy Foundation has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Give them a call, 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679, and tell them Bruce Jacobs sent you.
Geico presents Motorcycle Sounds. If you hear this, and within 15 seconds, you already know that it's a 6-speed cruiser with a wheelbase of 120 inches, a V-twin 2-cylinder engine with a max torque of 110 foot-pounds, a bright yellow body, black upholstery, chromed out wheels, a nice clean fairing, and a big dresser in the back ready to tour. Well, then you probably ride a motorcycle. So you probably know that Geico could save you even more when you bundle motorcycle with your home or car insurance. Geico Motorcycle. Save even more when you bundle.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Both made with fresh cracked eggs. Or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard. Aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
I love the way you grew. Eon, grooving in the control room. Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, here on a Monday as we head towards the home stretch. I got to tell you, I got to go to the text line here real quick before we move on. All NFL here as we close out the show, except for on this date in Big Georgia sports history. And let's see, Senior Wake and Bake says, that's why I protest against these overconfident, money-hungry a-holes. Well, if you're talking ownership, I'm with you. Blissful Hayes says, it's a shamockery, Randy and Keon. I agree with that. Also, Sun Devil Niner says, are they going to erect a statue in Matt Ryan's honor when he retires in Indy? Or are they just going to ask him to hold real still?
Well, it depends on how well he plays and if he gets them close to a Super Bowl or to a Super Bowl. Because if he doesn't, they can get out of that contract at the end of 2022. It'll be a little pricey, but it's not going to be as pricey as it would have been had he stayed in Atlanta.
Cordero Patterson will be sticking around in a Browns uniform. Apparently, he'll be backing up. I'm sorry, the Falcons uniform. He'll be backing up whoever the next quarterback is. Patterson, a unique playmaker last season, carrying 153 times for 618 yards and 6 touchdowns. I'm sorry, he was a running back. I've got somebody else on my mind. I don't know why. But anyway, Cordero Patterson, he will continue to run for the Falcons. That's NFL news as we continue on here on the Daily Blender. Matt Stafford, well, he got paid. The Rams took care of him. Matt Stafford has made plenty of money, but he's going to be making a bunch more as we find out that he got a signing bonus of $60 million, a 2022 base salary of $1.5 million, fully guaranteed, 2023 option bonus, $26 million fully guaranteed, 2023 base salary, $1.5 million fully guaranteed, 2024 base salary, $31 million fully guaranteed, 2025, $5 million due on the third day of 2025 leak year, 2025 base salary at $27 million, $10 million of which becomes fully guaranteed in 2024. I mean, dude, they are taking care of him. He is going to be making all kinds of money. And I can't say I'm not happy for him. I'm happy for him. He toiled away in Detroit. They didn't give him any help, really. They got him a few weapons, but look, Matt Ryan is going to be a Los Angeles Ram for some time. What do you think about that?
Makes perfect sense that they would make this move. And well, we talk about why can't the Cardinals figure out the money stuff? The Rams have absolutely figured out the money stuff. They know where to move it and what kind of contracts to build it up in. And I don't know how they figured it all out, but they're able to take care of guys that they want to. And they got criticized a lot for giving Jared Goff a big contract early and giving Todd Gurley a big contract early. But that's been their philosophy this whole time is if you perform well, we're going to take care of you. And maybe we're trapped in the contract and we've got to figure out a way out. But we'd rather be the team that takes care of people, and it helps them bring other talent in.
Well, speaking of big contracts, according to Tom Pelissero in the NFL media, the Browns are trading Case Keenum to the Bills for a 2022 7th-round pick, and they're going to keep Jacoby Brissett, and they've signed him to a 1-year deal. Jacoby Brissett will back up, Deshaun Watson as he shows up there in Browns land. Was it shocking to you that Deshaun Watson chose the Browns over Atlanta or New Orleans?
Not really. Well, Atlanta's in cap hell. So I was not shocked that he didn't choose them. I was a little bit shocked about New Orleans, but they're not great with cap space either. So I'm pretty sure whatever those teams were able to offer may not have been enough. And of course, like how close are those teams to a Super Bowl? I think you're going to have to wait a little bit. With the Browns, the Browns made the playoffs a couple of seasons ago with Baker Mayfield, and they won the first round of their first playoff game in forever. I think Deshaun Watson looked at the Browns and said, they've got a tremendous defense. They can run the ball. Their offensive line's pretty damn good. And they can get me some targets at wide receiver, and chose a team that I think was more contender ready when you look at the roster top to bottom than what Atlanta had or what New Orleans had.
Well, speaking of the Browns, they released wide receiver Jarvis Landry. You might recall that they signed Amari Cooper. Well, they've reworked Amari Cooper's deal, and so now they're trying to get Jadeveon Clowney and Jarvis Landry to come back to the Browns. We'll see how that plays out, but that's what the Browns are trying to do. Whoops, we didn't know we were going to get Deshaun Watson. He showed up here. Now we got to get a target here, and we've got to shore up our defense to make sure that we can help him win. So that's what's going on in Cleveland. Jadeveon Clowney. There we go. That's who I'm talking about. And Landry, they're trying to land those guys and get them back here on the Browns roster. I'm sorry. Anyway, but Bengals have hired the service of La'el Collins to protect Joe Burrow. What do you think about this? Is this the first of many moves for the Bengals to help Collins, or is this going to be sort of the last move they make?
I think it's the first of many, whether it's through the draft, whether it's continued looks through free agency. I doubt they trade for somebody at this point, but they know what their big weakness is. And, I think they thought maybe we have a little bit more time to build this up, and Joe Burrow goes ahead and takes you into a Super Bowl in year 2. So now you're ahead of schedule. Now you've got to scramble a little bit to figure out how to fill out some of these other parts of this roster. Okay, Joe can elevate us in a number of different ways, but number one, we've got to protect him. We've gotten him weapons. Now we've got to protect him. And if he can get us back to another Super Bowl, it'll be worth whatever we spend at offensive line.
Collins said to Burrows, he said, I told him, your new bodyguard is here in town. No one's going to touch you. So La'el Collins is joining the Bengals at right tackle. Do you think they can move him across to left tackle?
I mean, they could, but I forget the name of the left tackle they have right now. Their left tackle is pretty decent. It's the guard spots that they need to look at next, because that was where it was truly awful. But when you have a player of the caliber of La'el Collins being available and you need offensive line help, I don't care that he's not a guard. You go get him.
28 years old, Collins has played his entire NFL career for the Cowboys, so they cut him last week in a salary cap move. Now the Bengals are recipients of that move, and they will put him to work happily, protecting their investment at quarterback So there you go. Lael Collins going to be the new bodyguard there in Bengaltown. So with Watson heading to the Browns and Ryan heading to the Colts, there are a lot of questions about Baker Mayfield. I want to ask you before we go to the on this date in Big Georgia sports history, where does Baker Mayfield land? Could it be Seattle?
It could be Seattle, but from what I understand, a whole lot of teams haven't been calling about Baker, so it's going to be tough to see exactly where he winds up if they can even trade him. Obviously, they want some value back, but it may be Baker winds up being a free agent able to choose his spot, and at that point, it makes it tougher to predict where he could wind up going.
What's a good fit for Baker?
What's a good fit? Team with a strong running game would be a really good fit because he's really good at the RPOs, that run pass option.
Well, Seattle just brought Rashad Penny back, so
maybe it is Seattle, just to give you some kind of playmaking ability. Drew Lock is even more inconsistent than Baker, so I find it hard to believe that the Seahawks settle on that. Maybe the Panthers are desperate enough. They're gonna, if you draft a quarterback in this draft, it's gonna have to be Kenny Pickett if you're the Panthers, somebody who's pro ready. Because the actual best quarterback in this draft, I think, might be Malik Willis. And he's not going to be ready year one. He's going to still be very raw, but just in terms of tools, mobility, big arm, Malik Willis can give you that. But if you're not willing to wait for that as the Panthers, then maybe you go the Baker route and just have a quarterback in your quarterback room that you can start day one at least.
All right. Well, we'll keep our eye on that situation. Right now, it's time for On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history. Back in the year 1931, on a chilly night at Houston's Buffs Stadium, the Chicago White Sox and the New York Giants became the first Major League ball clubs to play a night game. A 10-inning exhibition played under the 245 kilowatt lamps, which, according to reports, provided adequate lighting for the contest. The disappointing Texas crowd of 2,500, due most to the cold weather, watched Chicago score 5 runs in the final frame to beat John McGraw's New York squad 11-6. Back to you, Rando. Thanks, Big George. We have a minute here for I've got a Wheel of Sports.
Yeah, we got about a minute.
Well, we can
maybe 2.
Let's go to the text line. Let's do this first. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says players can say the D-backs may suck, but they are still playing your salary. They're still paying. And if they weren't her playing and getting paid, where would they be? Player can say D-backs may not.
Are you saying that the players shouldn't criticize the team?
Maybe. Yeah. Ball of 51 says, let's talk some football, Randy. Let's talk some Raiders football, baby. Let's have had the best offseason by far by acquiring the best wide receiver in the league and arguably the best pass rusher as well. Well, I mean, the Raiders look good, Ball of 51. I'm not going to lie. Chandler Jones, one of my favorite players. That guy just gets it. There's no let up in him. And then you put Devontae Adams in there. I think that just takes Carr to the next level. Can they keep these guys happy? Can they keep them content? And can they protect Derek Carr? That's my question. Good Cat says the reason the Cards can't work the money like the Rams because of drunky Kime. I don't know that. I don't think that's Just the Tip says, gentlemen, what 2 positions would you focus on if you were the Cardinals GM? Keon, go ahead.
What 2 positions, man? I would have to go wide receiver. I think you got to get another person to go alongside D-Hop.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well, with Juju's a Chief now, so that was a nice option that was out there and available. But I think maybe if you address it in the draft, there's some good players out there that maybe will fall to where the Cardinals are, because I do think that this draft is loaded at the position. So that's one. And then outside of wide receiver, boy, well, you let one walk out the door, edge rusher, Chandler Jones, but they do need help there. They need help along the offensive line too. And I mean, pick a spot outside of like right guard and center.
Navy Brad says Baker to the Colts. I disagree.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you made the move for Matt Ryan, it's just not going to happen.
Senior wake and bake. All this moving around looks like Niners are still sitting pretty. Go Niners. All right. And Big George gets the final word. Any chance the Diamondbacks can get Edgar Martinez to come out of retirement to be their DH? Maybe Paul Molitor. No, it's not going to happen, Big George. Thank you. Thank you, Keon. I'm Randy White. This has been the Daily Blender. Jeffrey O'Brien has been up to the Major League Club. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. We'll find out as we continue on the Daily Blender on Tuesday here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. See you tomorrow.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189.